Comic Timing is listener supported by listeners like you over at patreon.com/comic timing. We thank you so much for any support that you can give for as little as $1 a month. You can go ahead and join up there, get most of the perks. And I'd like to thank Mike Atchison and Chris Murrin for recently becoming patrons of the show over at patreon.com/comic timing.
We miss you, CPN.
Hey there, folks. My name's Ian Levinstein, and welcome to episode 219 of Comic Timing. And you might recognize this episode a little bit. It has a familiar coat of paint to it, and I'm happy to be bringing it over here with, of course, the best mutton chops in the West, and the East, and the South, and the North. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Adam Murdough, welcome to Comic Timing.
Thank you, Ian. It's quite a pleasure to be here and bring our special brand of catalog exploration to the pocket universe of Comic Timing.
Yes, it is. It's previews time here. And joining us for this excursion as well, Mr. Raphael Soohoo. Raphael.
Hello.
Hello.
What is up?
I don't know
I
why.
think this is my first previews since the Geeks Unite days.
I think so, man. Like, that's...
It's been a long...
I know. You know. I think didn't you say you recently found all those Geeks Unite episodes on a hard drive somewhere?
They're on my external hard drive, which you can't. If I move my camera, it's up there.
Okay.
I will get to. I don't have enough space on my tiny little desk here to really plug it in, but yeah, they're there. There's a folder that says podcast. It's from 2016. It has to be there.
All right. Well, if you ever need a place to store them, you know that they have a good place here, and I'm sure we'll have a joy going back to stuff discussed in 2009. That's
I can't. I can imagine. I can imagine the terrible takes I had.
We all have terrible takes, man. Come on, that's that's all part of going back in time and viewing this stuff. But
Yes, just law of averages. You utter thoughts about comics into the ether for enough years. There are a few things that you're going to want to smack yourself for eventually.
Most definitely the case, yes. And for those of you unfamiliar, for those of you who have never listened to a previews episode, this is when we go through the various books. There's a lot of them these days. We're going to go through 4 of them, not all 6 of them that are currently out. IDW still has a section in previews, so there's no reason to go through their individual book. And
this is the last one time, though.
Yeah, and I think there's one more book as well that covers some of the other indies, but they're all in there anyway. We're going to go through our picks, we're going to go through the pages, and hopefully we will get you to buy more comics and spend more money, because we like to drain your bank accounts. That's what we do.
Listen, if I got to drain mine, you have to drain yours.
Exactly. And this is the June previews. I will repeat, June previews for 2 months from now, with books mostly being released in August, except for trades, which could be as late as September, October, or November, because those are often advanced solicitations. Previews 429, Image Catalog 11. I actually remembered the number this time, so I don't just say August. DC Connect 49, and it is Marvel Previews 33. So that's what we have to offer here for you folks. And as is tradition on these previews episodes, we will start off with Image Comics to get the ball rolling here. And any of you just following along in just the regular Diamond previews, there is a Image section in there. It's just there's a lot bigger of an Image section in their own book. So that's why we've been doing them over the past couple of months.
Back in my day, previews used to start with Dark Horse.
Yes.
We liked it.
And now it's in the back of the book.
I know, falling on hard times, but still out there scrabbling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, let's start us off here on page 4 of the Image catalog with something that I'm sure you are looking forward to, Murd. Cal, 1964. number 1 of 3, a new 3-issue miniseries by Kyle Higgins and Alex Siegel, with art and cover by Rod Rice. And this looks like it's going to be some nice old school action right here.
Oh, yes. Tip of the early 60s fedora here to absent friends, because I know Chris Eberly was always a big fan of Cowl when it was on a series from Image several years ago. Matter of fact, we're told in the solicitation this is celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the Cowl concept. So it's been a while since it's been published. But yeah, it's from the minds of Kyle Higgins and Alex Siegel, and it's basically a mid-60s superhero labor union. You know, Cowl is short for Chicago Organized Workers League, and it's just a great kind of Mad Men meets early Fantastic Four meets Jimmy Hoffa kind of situation. And Chris was a big supporter of this. I loved it too, and I'm very happy that we're getting 3 more issues of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Here's hoping that this leads to even further issues if this 3-issue miniseries does well enough for Higgins. Although I know he is a very busy man, certainly, but they are touting this as part of the Massiveverse, by the way. So I guess retroactively adding it to the same universe as Radiant Black, which is pretty cool.
Very interesting.
Yep.
Support your local 443 superhero union.
But of course. And that artwork is pitch perfect for a book like this.
Who's the artist again?
It's Rod Rice.
Okay. Reminds me of Noto.
A little bit, yeah, actually.
Yeah,
a
little bit.
Good call on that.
Reminds me of what
Smallwood, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
maybe it's just because it's the same sort of period, but yeah.
It's possible, but also same general workmanship. The colors and the very expressive faces are incredibly Smallwood in process. So I could definitely get behind that. Well, check that out once again on page 4. Got a bunch of preview pages to follow on that. And then John Arcudi, page 9 with Convert, another miniseries. This one 4 issues. So we find ourselves on a distant planet along with science officer Orin Kutella. Starving and haunted by the ghosts of his dead crew on the verge of death, he makes an astounding discovery. This certainly sounds like an interesting sci-fi romp here by a man who's very familiar with sci-fi.
Yep. Arcudi, an underrated talent.
Yeah, I've read a handful of his Hellboy work.
Yep, and Savannah Finley on the artwork chores here. Not really familiar with Savannah Finley, but I'm certainly liking what I'm seeing. This is really well done sci-fi artwork here. Good colorscape to work with, and almost has a bit of a Planet of the Apes feel in the setup with the landscapes and whatnot. But we'll see what it's actually like when it hits the stands. Moving on to Kieran Gillen's The Power Fantasy.
I think that's Savannah's first comic, by the way.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm looking her up, and I don't see any other books under their name.
Well, there you go. Welcome, Savannah. Definitely. And how about Kieran Gillen giving us a new superhero book, The Power Fantasy, with art by Casper Wingard on page 14. And this is a new book by Kieran Gillen. That's kind of all you really need to know.
I love Kieran Gillen.
Yep. Few people write superheroes better than Kieran Gillen these days, and this one looks like it's going to be right up there with the best of them.
Yep, it's a world in which there's only 6 people who fit the most proper definition of superpowered, which is basically thermonuclear capacity. Just human weapons of mass destruction. And apparently it's all about whatever political maneuverings are necessary to keep those 6 people from not getting angry at each other.
I guess I'll add it to my order. It's intrigued by it or whatever.
Well, what I love about this is Kieran Gillen loves working with small groups of powered individuals. That is his bag, and he works in that bag very, very well.
That was The Wicked and the Divine. That was kind of the Young Avengers.
Yep.
The list goes on.
Yep. And even when he was working with X-Men, it was a very specific sect of X-Men for a while there until he hit the Krakoa era. So Power Fantasy #1. Check it out on page 14 of the Image catalog. And very interesting style of artwork here. I mean, these are just preview pages, but loving the designs on these characters. Very unique. Excellent. All right. Let's move it on a little bit further here. Down to Universal Monsters Frankenstein, because clearly Universal has not given up on the concept of Universal Monsters, and now they're going to try to give it in comic book form here with their take on Frankenstein in a 4-issue mini by Michael Walsh, with artwork by Michael Walsh and Tony Marie Griffin.
Listen, they couldn't have their movie universe. They're going to have their comic universe, okay?
Seems only fair. Yeah, they've done a Dracula miniseries now. They've done a Creature from the Black Lagoon, and now we're getting Frankenstein's monster.
Yes, indeed. Yep. And there are many takes of Frankenstein out there, so we'll see exactly which style this one falls into. But digging the visuals that are on display here, and it looks like it might be a little bit more of a traditional horror take on the character. And a little less young Frankenstein, to say the least.
So they won't be putting on the Ritz, huh?
They will not be putting on the Ritz in this one, not from the looks of it. But,
yeah.
Yep.
Interesting central conceit here. It says here, each issue of the limited series tells the shocking story behind one of the body parts used to create the unforgettable monster in the original film.
That's really cool, actually.
I like that.
You got to collect them all to collect it all.
It's a Build-A-Figure.
Build-A-Figure comics. We were getting there. Like that. Clearly, that's the one thing we haven't gotten in comic books, and now, lo and behold, here we are. So,
and they say there's no new ideas in comics.
Exactly. Well, looking forward to what this take is going to be like here. And then a new miniseries, a lot of miniseries this month out of Image, but Mark Andreyko begins a 6-issue mini of Violator Origin. We get the true origin story of Violator as told by the most unbelievable and unreliable narrator of all time. Set inside the Spawn universe. It's Mark Andreyko, so there's good pedigree there. So any of you who are interested in Spawn stuff, this will be worth checking out. Piotr Kowalski on the artwork chores for this 6-issue miniseries of Violator. And boy, oh boy, is that a Spawn design, to say the least. And then Cyberforce for the hell of it on page 39, because, clearly we're just getting heavy into 90s nostalgia at this point.
Yeah, had to catch on
The
some
Rebirth era. Is this so? Did they have a rebirth?
I guess, I don't know. I lost count of Cyberforce many years ago, man. So I wouldn't be surprised.
I remember
if they try.
At least in my first run at Midtown, which was 7 years. I remember something like 3 cyber reboots. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe 4.
Well, it wouldn't shock me at all, quite frankly. Artwork looks cool here, but I unfortunately don't really have that much interest in Cyberforce. So, those of you who enjoy it, by all means, was never really my bag.
Yep, ditto.
What's a bit
Starhenge?
Starhenge? Yes, indeed.
Yes.
We
I loved the first series.
Yeah, this is a graphic novella in the Starhenge saga called Ore. So this is about 64 pages. You don't often get novellas these days.
Back in my day, we called them 64-page giants.
That is true.
Prestige one-shots if we were feeling cheeky.
Yes.
Now it's a novella because we fancy.
Yes. Yes.
William Sharp, or it's dragons, it's myth, it's sci-fi, it's epic. It's page 45 and $8 for 64 pages of action.
$8 a page. 25 cents for 2 pages. 25 cents a page. That's not bad.
That's not too shabby. See, this is why we have you, Raph. We don't usually get breakdowns of cost like that. So nicely done.
You don't need it, but yeah, I'm just throwing. Just go quick math in my head. Anyway, so
yes. What we do need is this: the Sacrificers in giant size. See, giant size still exists. A artist proof edition collecting the first 2 issues of Sacrificers in one shot here. However, because this is giant size and it's a proof edition, they get to charge $25 for it on page 53 of Remender and Max Fiumara's Sacrificers, which has been getting some pretty good acclaim.
One of those books that I need to catch up on.
Mm-hmm. Here's a book you can catch up on. Transformers #1.
Get at the touch!
Thank you.
I have to move back a little bit.
A facsimile 40th anniversary edition. This is Ralph Macchio and Bill Mantlow's original here with Frank Springer artwork as well.
Not the Karate Kid.
Yep.
Point that out for all the kids out there. Not that the kids would know. Okay, no, they would know him from. They wouldn't even know him from the Karate Kid. They'd know him from Cobra Kai.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Just
that's
have to plug in my headset here.
I figured.
Okay, we're good.
This is page 56 here, and I will point out they do mention that this is being printed on newsprint and will feature an all-new variant cover celebrating the history of the Transformers as well.
I don't own I own like 6 different copies of this thing.
Somewhere,
I might get this.
Somewhere Shane is very happy that he'll be able to smell the newsprint of this all.
Oh.
Yep.
Yes, I can see it now, and he can probably smell it now.
Oh, yes. Available for you on page 56 for any of you Transformers aficionados. All right. Moving on a little bit more. This is gorgeous artwork, so I have to bring this up. Sean Lewis brings us Bear Pirate Viking Queen. Amazing name for a comic book right there on page 57. This is a 3-issue miniseries collected in its entirety. It's called Bear Pirate Viking Queen. It has amazing artwork by Jonathan Marks and BRZRKR.
I mean, anytime you use 4 nouns to make a name, I'm in.
That is true. And his name sounds like bear, and he's drawing bears.
Right.
So that's just worth it in the end. That is available to you on page 57 of the Image catalog. Huh. Dracula, a storybook portfolio by
J.H. Williams.
Wow. That's interesting.
The name caught me. J.H. Williams. I love J.H. Williams' work.
Oh, he's a fantastic artist.
Yeah. Batwoman, Detective Comics.
Yeah.
So good.
Fantastic. It features numerous painted illustrations and accompanying written passages to create a storytelling experience that goes beyond the typical expectations of an art book, making for a potent combination of illustration and prose.
All right, so this is not just pretty pictures. He is actually putting together a story out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
Absolutely.
good added value.
Pictures.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that as well. Yeah, and this is 160 pages of full color artwork here to go along with the prose. It's only $25 on page 65. I'm sure it'll be discounted on wherever you buy your fine books. But yeah, this looks amazing, and it's J.H. Williams, so I'm sure it's just going to be well worth the price of admission for anybody who is a Dracula fan. And Murd, Feral Volume 1 available for you here. First 5 issues of Tony Fleek's Feral.
Yep. Tony Fleeks, who has put together quite a cottage industry lately, what with telling stories using anthropomorphic animal characters. I mean, I don't know if that's what he set out for his career to be, but that's kind of where he's ended up. He got started drawing and sometimes writing My Little Pony material for IDW, and he did Stray Dogs through Image, and now he's got Feral, which is to the zombie genre roughly what Stray Dogs was to like the psychological suspense murder mystery. It's been described as Seven meets All Dogs Go to Heaven. So here's Feral, which is more like cute Don Bluth style animals in a zombie apocalypse.
I have Stray Dogs on my. I have all 5 issues sitting to be read. I think I must have missed on Feral. Then I'm gonna have to pick this up.
Yeah, and just because you said it and I can't resist it, so what you're saying is that it's all dogs go to 7.
Yeah, but it's also elements of Memento in there, so I've already forgotten all of that.
Hey, thank you, Murd. Well
There
done.
it is.
Well done. I missed this. Check it out for anybody interested on page 66. And speaking of hardcover editions that are well worth checking out, Junkyard Joe deluxe hardcover here by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, with Brad Anderson and Rob Lay on the rest of the artwork chores as well. This collects the first 6 issues of Junkyard Joe in one package here in hardcover format on page 67. Straight out of Geiger.
Yeah, I haven't been reading any of his image work, but I'll catch up to. I'll get so much to do.
Well, apparently, anybody who has access to the Hoopla app, meaning if your library supports it, unfortunately, New York City libraries are not part of it. They have a decent amount of the Ghost Machine stuff already available for reading on Hoopla. So keep that in mind if you are one of the lucky libraries, or you're part of one of the lucky libraries that supports it. You can read them for free over at Hoopla. And on the Libby app, Murd, you'll be happy to know that I'll be reading Patton Oswalt's comic book work in the not-too-distant future, as I realized it was available on there. So I'll be checking that out soon.
Okay, so you're going into the world of minor threats then.
I most definitely am, yep.
Excellent.
All right.
Satellite Sam.
Yep, Satellite Sam, Matt Fraction, Howard Chaykin, all 15 issues of Satellite Sam for a very affordable price. 416 pages, trade paperback, only $30 before discount on page 68. And that collects the whole damn thing. So, yeah.
I have it.
Nice.
This is a not old series, but it's an old enough series that I finished reading this ages ago. I think this came out in like 20.
Definitely came out. Yeah, like the mid 2000s, if I'm remembering correctly.
Like I was still working somewhere. I don't remember if it was Midtown or Diamond. I got to be honest with you. Probably I think Midtown.
So Satellite Sam first came out in July 2013.
Yes, so I was definitely at Midtown.
Yep. So right before the end of your run there. So yep. And that does indeed collect all 15 issues of it. It's Fraction and Shaken, so like you're bound to get a good story, and of course, with a line like sex, death, live TV, how could you possibly go wrong?
Yeah, set in those long ago days of the early 50s when all TV was live.
Indeed. Yep. As we switch over to the single issues, Blood Squad 7 has its 4th issue on page 75. Joe
Blood Squad.
Fry. Yeah, the old schoolness of this just really just makes me happy.
Annihilator, Throat Ripper, Gut Smasher.
We'll just call her Pat.
And the 3rd issue of
Orphan Crippler. Pass.
3rd issue of Destro on the next page, page 76. So we're nearing the conclusion of Destro. Got 2 more issues left to go on that, going down a little bit further into the catalog, G.I. Joe 309, Cobra Commander strikes back, and in Springfield, Dawn Moreno will have her revenge. Bum.
Yeah, you know what's funny? So I was listening to another podcast talk about this, but you know, for kids born in like the late 70s to early 80s, when like cartoons really became, you know, were like the classic cartoons came out, the golden age. At least I consider the golden age. There's such little micro divisions and micro generations in those years that if you're not born within a certain date, one of these shows is completely off your radar.
Yeah.
Like for me, we're the same age, but so this should be the case, but like G.I. Joe wasn't as big on my radar.
Yeah.
He-Man wasn't big on my radar. Thundercats was there, but I didn't think
Thundercats was there. Yeah.
It was primarily Ninja Turtles, Transformers, G.I. Joe,
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. Right?
Yeah.
And then whatever came out after that.
I was cursory interested in G.I. Joe as a kid, but it didn't come naturally. Like I would watch the reruns of the animated series every now and then, like when they were available on whatever channel they were running on at the time. But it wasn't like super duper into G.I. Joes. But I did own a bunch of G.I. Joes, but the small ones, not the ones that Jamie would want, which are the big ones. So
right. I mean, we all know what my number one was. I mean,
yes, your number one was
Transformers.
Yes, it was Transformers. Exactly.
No, I shouldn't lie. It was gummy bears here and there and everywhere.
High adventure that's beyond compare.
Yes.
Yes, I actually very much enjoyed the Disney's Adventures of the Gummy Bears, much more than I ever did G.I. Joe, which I refused to watch.
Well, there you go.
Like I actively disliked G.I. Joe as a kid. Yeah. I would not watch it, even if it was on.
I watched it, but it just never stuck with me.
Well, for any of you who are interested in G.I. Joe, issue 309, holy crap, this thing just continues on, and good for Larry Hama on that. And the Paul Pellet artwork certainly helps that. But yeah, page 82 for issue 309 of G.I. Joe, Real American Hero.
Ian, could I ask you to flip back up a couple of pages?
Certainly.
One thing I did want to... Yeah, right there. On page 81, actually. This is called Free Agents. It looks like a fairly generic image action title, but note who's writing it. Kurt Busiek and Fabian Nicieza.
Wow.
Those of you who remember that their work for Marvel, I mean, these two are the lightning rods whose genius summoned down the thunderbolts. Like Kurt Busiek created them, and Nicieza continued the concept for several years afterwards. So anything they do, I like to give attention to, and I want to make sure that those of you who are fellow Thunderbolts fans are aware that they are doing some work right now, and it's coming out from Image, and it's called Free Agents.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Not to mention, Nicieza was an X-Men foundational writer, and Busiek was like the Avengers guy for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yep. And Mr. Busiek, of course, JLA Avengers, my God.
A lengthy resume. I only bring up Thunderbolts because it's one thing that both these gentlemen worked on.
Right, yes.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. And a variant cover by Kevin Maguire with good measure. So
Scroll back up. I think it's this one.
Yes, it is covered here. Yep.
Shane would appreciate that.
Yes, he would. Do check it out on page 81 there. And going down to one specific issue that I know is coming out, although an end of a story arc here for Local Man, I will point out. Local Man is easily one of my favorite books on the stands right now. And Fleeks and Seeley conclude the Lost Ones story arc in issue 13, available on August 21st on page 90.
I think I've been getting that, and I think I missed a couple issues now.
I think you should just switch the trades, man, because
I think I'm going to have to do that now.
Local Man reads really well in full chunks. Like I read the first volume as a trade, and I'm honestly glad I did, because it gave me a pretty full story. All right.
I might as well read everything as trade because.
Well, yes, that too. Public Domain, issue 7. Zdarsky, story and artwork on page 97 here, as Public Domain is back with us, and I am happy that it is indeed back.
Same here.
Yep. And of course,
Sega.
No, Saga, that is.
Oh, the tragedy, the irony. All the years that Chris Eberly has been waiting, all the months, all the catalogs he's slogged through, all the wasted months.
Wait, hold on. From a distance, do I hear a
Nay, 'tis but the sighing of the breeze.
Hey, we are one issue away from Saga issue nice.
Very true. And that'll be coming in probably September of 2032.
No.
Are they back?
They're back for now. So that they'll put out another solid, 10 to 12 issues, and then they'll take another break. And then I'm pretty sure Brian K. Vaughan has an end game at this point. So there probably aren't that many more to go, quite frankly.
I think he said he always had an end game. It's just a matter of getting there because he's so busy.
Yeah. Well, this is again issue 68 of Saga, page 105, and I cannot wait to pick that up and trade like I have all of the rest of Saga at this point. Scarlet issue 3 of 5 on page 107 as well for any of you G.I. Joe followers of the new universe. And Spawn kills every Spawn, issue 2 of 5.
By John Layman.
Yeah, John Layman and art by Rob Sketchcraft Duenas. Look at that cover.
That is a very 90s cover.
Yes, it is.
And Days of Future Past. 90s cover, just spooging all over a very 70s cover. It's Days of Future Past with the Violator.
Yep.
That's what you do.
Violating it.
You pay homage, and then you put your character in. That was very 90s also.
Yep. Page 111 for that, and issue 11 of Transformers on page 112 as Dan Warren Johnson continues his time on the Transformers books. And I believe that is all for Image because there are no more pages. So I'm going to go ahead and head over to the main previews book. After taking a month off of previews, I no longer see advertisements for Free Comic Book Day because that happened and it was in May.
Side note, do you think when they finish The Walking Dead Deluxe, they'll just start over and go Walking Dead Deluxer?
Yes. Yes.
I think so.
I believe that's exactly what's going to happen because there is no way in hell that they are ever going to stop publishing versions of The Walking Dead. It prints money. Like that's it. It's like how they're going back and they're re-releasing the trades of Invincible with new covers, and I'm sure there's completists out there that are like, "Ooh, new covers!" Like, come on, relax.
I do need some of the later. Back when we were all in our heyday of reading, you would read the trades of a book, and then you would pick up the single issues of the book.
Yes,
and that was fine, right? Because you want to catch up with the book.
Sure.
But in retrospect, having half of Invincible and Walking Dead in single issues and the other half in trade paperbacks is kind of annoying.
Yeah, that's me and Why the Last Man. I have like the first 3 volumes of Why the Last Man and the rest I had in singles, and I eventually just want to collect it all in trades so it can all be sitting on my shelf. So yes, I feel you.
This is what I'm finding after, what is it now? 27 years of collecting comics nonstop. Is this heavy burden.
Well, on the bright side, we're going through a book that's going to make you buy more comic books. So that's that's
just continue the cycle.
Exactly. And speaking of which, on page 34 to start us off in Boom, Red Before Black, number 1 of 6, described as Thelma and Louise Miami style. With Stephanie Phillips on the writing chores and Goran Sudzuka on the illustrations. This is, of course, a unpredictable outlaw couple, the most unpredictable outlaw couple since Harley and Ivy. They toed it as. I guess we'll see whether or not that's actually the case here, but it does sound like a fascinating premise either way. Special assignment from the FBI. Disgraced Army veteran Val is sent to Florida to hunt down an infamous drug runner named Leo, but she soon finds they have an unexpected enemy in common, turning the game of cat and mouse into something else entirely.
It's now cat and also cat.
Yes, that is indeed the case. And very, very pretty artwork accompanying on the following pages to entice you to buy it.
You're on to them.
I might whiff.
Well, the cover story this month for Diamond's previews is, of course, BRZRKR, The Lost Book of B, number 1, by Keanu Reeves and Matt Kint.
He totally came back. to do this book.
Does it surprise you at all that a man of Keanu Reeves' caliber manages to get the best writers in comics to co-write his book with him? Because it does not surprise me in the slightest.
No, he totally has the connections, man.
Oy vey.
It would be a bogus journey otherwise.
You're fired.
I had a good run. One episode's fine.
Ron Garney on the illustrations for this as well. Like this
himself.
Indeed, this looks like it's going to be great. And the original Berserker team return for B's most violent chapter yet on page 40. Man, oh man! And then for something completely different, we love our anagrams here on the show.
Mm-hmm. We're fond of acronyms too.
And acronyms. That's what I meant to say. Damn it!
Anagrams are pretty cool too. Just to be fair,
they're not bad.
That is true. It's just sometimes the words don't come out the way they're supposed to, and that was supposed to be a freaking
true.
Sir, SIR, number 1 of 5, written by Fellhound. That's a name.
Probably not a real one, but it is a name.
Indeed. Yep. On page 42, get ready for your new obsession: motorcycle jousting. That's kind of all I need to hear.
Yep. It's 1978, Ian, and motorcycles are hotter than ever.
Yes.
It seems like a throwback.
Oh, absolutely.
For the record, SIR is an acronym for Seismic Iron Clash Roulette.
Man, somebody really wanted to make a manga. That's the way I'm feeling about this. It's very
the artwork, yeah.
Oh yeah, very manga-esque artwork. If this was Tokyo Pop, they would try to call this an Amera manga. If it was like 1998, but yeah, this is it's looking pretty interesting either way.
You just like seismically crushed my brain with that memory. Like my brain just like completely time traveled there and just like the Dr. Phil like gif. Like,
I still can't believe Tokyo Pop still publishes books, man. So I feel you. I feel you.
I just haven't heard the terms Tokyo Pop and Amera manga in a very long time.
Oh, I know. It still pains me as well.
Yeah.
How about this? Memetic, the Apocalyptic Trilogy, Deluxe Edition and Slipcase Edition. James Tinian IV, Eric Donovan, a very hypnotic. Is that a not sloth? Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Laid back sloth.
Yep, laid back, chill sloth, who's hypnotizing you, and I'm sure he's not going to make you do something horrible.
Mm-hmm. Like bring about the end of civilization.
Exactly. Collects Memetic 1 through 3, Cognetic 1 through 3, and Eugenic 1 through 3, all in one collection here. 336 pages for a $50 hardcover or a $70 slipcase edition, if you fancy, on page 46. Oh my God! Wow, that almost hurt my eyes.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Get at my 3D specs there.
Yes, most definitely. Volume 8 of Something is Killing the Children. Available for everybody on page 51. Collecting issues 36 through 40 of that. And as we move further along, 25th anniversary special of Farscape.
Bring on them space Muppets.
Yes.
It has been that long, hasn't it?
Those Frelin space Muppets are all available for you. This is a 25th anniversary special featuring writing by Keith DeCandido, Cinna Grace, Zach Thompson, Colin Kelly, and Jackson Lanzig.
Great.
Yep. Sarah Gailey and Cameron Chittuck, with artwork by Francesco Mortarino, Stefano Simeone, and French Carlo Magno, and a bunch more. Indeed. More.
I met more once.
Favorite artist. Yes.
Yeah. I met them at I think Baltimore Comic Con.
Yes.
I met them in Baltimore, New York. I'm not sure.
Did he have a first name, or was his name just Moore?
No, it's just Moore.
Okay, got it.
It's like Fellhound. It's just like a pen name. A nom de guerre.
It's an art collective, like you do, But I can't believe it's been 25 years.
That's what I was saying before.
This is nuts. Well, page 60, any of you Farscape fans, you've got plenty to look forward to here. There's also a archive edition of Farscape available on page 61 to go along with it. Now this is awesome. Power Rangers Infinity #1.
Proton Cannon.
Yes. Oh, and that's been on my mind all day. Thank you, Raph, because Marvel vs. Capcom is coming back.
Listen, if anyone says the word infinity, I have to follow with Proton Cannon. That's the rules. I didn't make the rules. I just created them.
You think you can make this Proton Cannon? This is a never-before-seen Power Rangers Infinity team on page 62. Sam Humphries and Brant and Steen, the illustrated, I'm assuming, team, because they sure do sound like one, or they're one person. Either way. It's Power Rangers.
A lot of Sailor influence.
I was going to say. Sailor Rangers, basically.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Oh, and by the way, Ian, the solicit copy does bear out your assumption that they are a team. It's
okay.
Right down there at the bottom.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Page 62 for that. Once and Future gets a pen and ink edition. Kieran Gillen and Dan Mora. Excellent creative team. I have the first volume of this sitting on my shelf, still waiting to be read, but this is a black and white edition of Once and Future if you want to do see what it looks like in straight black and whites with inks on page 65.
Yeah. It's the story of a nerdy, hapless archaeologist and his badass grandma going up against threats straight out of Arthurian mythology.
Excellent premise. And then for any of you Garfield fans, there's a Garfield miniseries. All right, moving on. I mean, look, more power to them, you know?
I mean,
I like Garfield, but, you know, just read it in your newspaper if you're lucky enough to still have one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I'll tell you, some of those Garfield minus Garfield comics are still hold up over time. Like if you track those down on the internet, the ones with just John slowly losing his mind because he thinks he has an orange cat is just delightful. And I will point out on page 68 the Zawa and Belly of the Beast softcover, collecting the 5 issues of that miniseries into one package. Page 68. Rare Flavor is getting a soft cover as well. 1 through 6 of that on page 69. And I think that's it for Boom. As we head over to Dynamite. Yes. Dynamite has a lot of text pages, and then they have Johnny Quest. Oh, man.
Celebrating the 60th anniversary. Wow.
Yeah, wow. Joe Casey on the writing chores for this Johnny Quest #1 with Sebastian Pires on the artwork chores.
Mm-hmm. Yep, real punk rock action sci-fi kind of dude, that Joe Casey.
Mm-hmm.
Strong pedigree, but honestly, I've never been much of a fan of Johnny Quest either. The new adventures of Johnny Quest were on the Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera when I was a kid on Sunday mornings, and I watched it, I tolerated it, I never really liked it. Although I will say one of my earliest memories of comic books was seeing an issue of like Kamiko's old Johnny Quest series on a spinner rack at my local Pen Supreme mini mart.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't buy it then, and I don't think I'm going to buy it now. But more power to Johnny Quest fans. You've got a great creative team bringing your old childhood action favorite to life.
See, that's the beauty of comics. You don't have to have a huge budget to remake a cartoon. You don't have to wait for Hollywood to develop it. Just get a writer who's interested in an artist and a company that's willing to do it, and there you go. Johnny Quest fans are satisfied.
The one Johnny Quest that I watched as a kid was the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. That was the 3D Johnny Quest that aired on Cartoon Network / Toonami.
I do remember that.
It was Johnny. It was Johnny as a teen, basically. So it was supposed to be like the continued adventures of Johnny Quest, just a little bit older and more suited for me in 1996.
Yeah, the only Johnny Quest I think I've really seen is Venture Brothers.
or that episode of Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law.
That's right. That's it. That's the pilot to Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, where I didn't realize that.
Yeah, where race tries to get custody of the kids because he thinks that Dr. Quest is not treating them well enough. Well, I have two boys. One of them has blonde hair. His name is Jimmy, Jordan, Johnny. Yes. Enough said.
Yeah.
Good artwork here to go along with it, though. So, and it looks just different enough from the animated series to have its own personality, and that's what I like to see in artwork that evokes animated series, which we found
familiar
by Fair as well for Gargoyles and Darkwing Duck.
Evocative, but not copying.
Mm-hmm. Chitara continues her miniseries. Speaking of another Dynamite animated series conversion, page 97, second issue of that. On the Powerpuff Girls, it's the second issue on page 101. Yep. Kelly Thompson writing the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good pedigree right there.
I might flip through it at the shop.
Yeah, absolutely. And Vampirella continues to be Vampirella.
Mm-hmm. Written by Christopher Priest, though. So it's not just anything.
Right. He took over last year or the year before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Space Ghost continues along. I have the first issue of that I'm still looking to read. But this is David Paposi and Jonathan Lau on the writing and artwork. This is issue 4, and it looks like we've got Zorak.
Oh, yeah.
It does.
Yes, please. Page 113. This one's probably going to be a little less smarmy than the Zorak that I grew up with.
Yeah, there's every chance that it will be, yeah.
Yes. Negaduck Volume 1 being released on page 118. That collects the full 4 issues of Negaduck.
Well, the first 4 issues anyway.
First 4 issues, yes.
I think there's going to be 7 or 8 all told, but they haven't all been published yet.
Yep. Yeah, so this is the, I guess you could say, the first miniseries, even though there's going to be more. So yes, good point on that. So first volume available on page 118, and then Gargoyles Here in Manhattan Volume 2 collections on page 119.
Wait, here?
Yes, here. And
Okay.
Yeah, you're in
No
Manhattan.
unsettled.
So for me, it's there in Manhattan because I'm in the Bronx, but for you, it's here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, literally here.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
I was watching Godzilla -1
Mhm.
the other night, and it happened to be on my second monitor, which is right here. And I turn and look, and I look out the window, and I'm just reminded that time when I was like 4 and I was watching Godzilla for the first time, thinking that Godzilla would suddenly appear in the window and like start marching towards me from the ocean. Just the funny things I thought as a kid.
That's a quality childhood fear.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, no, very valid, especially living on near Coney Island.
Speaking of huge things, we'll cover Titan before we switch over to DC and Marvel. Huge Detective, number 1 of 5. Adam Rose and Magenta King on page 138. After a race of giants emerged from deep sleep beneath the earth, a bloody conflict ensued in what became known as the Omega Event. Eventually, a treaty is resolved, and the state of Brobdingnag is created.
Yep, straight out of Gulliver's Travels, that is.
Yes, indeed. Allowing humans and giants to coexist harmoniously, yet tragedy threatens to shatter the peace, and an unlikely partnership is formed between Detective Tamaki and Giant, spelled Gyant. This is a really cool concept.
Yeah, they're calling it Chinatown meets the BFG.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm really interested. The artwork, the artwork is very reminiscent of the Luna Brothers. I feel like it evokes their style a bit here, and again, that artist is Magenta King. If you want to check it out, there's preview pages on page 140 as well. Yeah, this looks like a really interesting concept. And then Savage Sword of Conan, Volume 1, collected on page 142. If you want to get more Conan in your life, it is definitely available for you there.
Chris Eberly has been touting this book for months now, so if you want to catch up and see what he's been raving about, here's your chance to do it in a collected form.
Indeed. As the ongoing issue 14 hits on page 146. They're also collecting more of the old comics of Conan the Barbarian under the Conan Comics Group, which was clearly what it was originally published. Roy Thomas. Yeah. Roy Thomas.
That was definitely the original publisher.
Absolutely. And John Buscema, the writer and artist behind that. This is the 4th volume of that, collecting Conan the Barbarian 84 through 115. What If? It's so weird that that Conan Comics Group had a comic called What If, number 13, and annual 4 through 5, and that's the continuation of Hour of the Dragon. All available for you on page 148. The 15th Doctor, yep, Dan Waters, Kelsey Ramsey, writing an artist on page 151. Gun Honey continues to be Gun Honey. Enough said on that. And Elric the Necromancer, 2nd of 2 here. Elric must face an epic threat without his legendary Stormbringer. So you're getting some nice Viking action if you're interested.
Co-written by Jean-Luc Cano.
Ooh.
Someone's parents were Star Trek parents.
Definitely. Or fans of Robinson Cano, who knows?
That's true. Don't you know?
Yeah. Oh, boy. And 2 dumb dinos to finish us out here on page 159 of Titans. They're 2 dumb dinos. That's really all you need to know. It's a strip comic. It looks adorable. Good times to be had by all. And
Sword of the Titans looks interesting.
Yeah, Sword of the Titans does look interesting, actually. That is indeed a manga. Yep.
It's a manga? Okay.
Yeah, Titan likes to put their manga before the manga section. This is Kashi Dashiki, under the Titan manga imprint. A sweeping quest through a magical land full of monstrous creatures and noble gods for you on page 160. Yeah, that does look pretty cool.
Oh, I don't need any more. Tankobon, like, I draw the line at Tankobon. I can't pick up any. Like, single comic. See, the illusion is a single comic is smaller, even though, like, it's 6 issues to a story, so it's 120 pages anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Let me have that illusion, though. I don't want to pick up any more, like, collections.
No, that's perfectly fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm just getting past Image here since we already did it. And, yep, I'll leave us off here. And onward we go to DC as the 4-issue event series continues in August of Absolute Power. Written by some schlubs named Mark Waid and Dan Mora. We'll have more to on that here on page 1. Issue 2 here. Who has joined the Trinity of Evil? I'm sure it's nobody good.
I think I picked up, which cover did I get? Let me look in my order.
This is it makes me happy beyond measure that Waid and Mora get to work on the event comics out of DC at this point, because they are my favorite team that DC has running right now.
What's the last event that Waid did? I think it's The Kingdom, which is like 1999, 2000, I think.
Wasn't he involved in that Lazarus thing they did last year?
Yes.
Was he?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
I haven't read it yet.
Well,
he wrote one or two of the one shots anyway.
Okay.
He also had like the major like arc through it, because that then essentially led to his Shazam series, if I remember correctly. Based out of the Lazarus event or what have you.
I wouldn't know. I have it all. It's sitting there. I just don't know.
Whenever you see the word Siege of the Fortress of Solitude, you know bad things are going down. And
yeah.
That is not good. No bueno.
I got the Kirkham variant, which is like a little further up.
Nice. Oh yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah. I usually go for the Superman covers. I'm easy. You give me a good Superman cover, I'll get it.
Big fan of the Connecting variant cover as well.
I'm not made of money.
Absolute Power Task Force 7, number 4. Sounds like a 70s TV show. And issue 5 of that as well, solicited on page 2. Absolute Power Origins. We're all absolute powering, but let's focus on Batman 151, shall we? Chip Zdarsky, Mike Hawthorne, and some familiar fellow there on the cover.
Yep, we got Batman versus albino cyborg Hulk cosplaying as Superman.
Yeah, that is a big looking Bizarro-esque soups right there. That's a special.
Jackass.
And
yeah, you're right.
Has a cybernetic arm.
Because he needed one. and yeah, good point, Raph. He's got the black S. That's like, is he? I guess because he's in mourning, because that's the only time Superman ever has the black S.
No, Action Comics has Black S Superman, which is That's Gale's. You'll see it later, but okay. I think that's in homage to the Fleischer Superman.
Got it.
I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is.
All right. Well, fair enough. But yeah, page 4. He's big. He's bad. He's got a cyborg arm. Me happy about this development.
Happy? Okay, it's fine. I'm trying to decipher Bizarro speak sometimes. It's just a lot.
Yeah. Now, Superman number 17. I mean, I like this series to begin with, but can we focus on the swimsuit variant cover of Superman 117, which is just absolutely perfect, with the sun putting the S right there on the chest.
I didn't get that one. I got the one next to it because I'm a sucker for an action figure cover.
I figured as much. Yeah. This is shockingly an Absolute Power tie-in, but this is after the traumatic events of Absolute Power number 2. So make sure to read that before you read this. It's got Zatanna.
You know, I haven't. Obviously I'm gonna get Superman, but like I haven't read Batman in a long time, and I just really it annoys me when they do all these tie-ins because I pick up a book I haven't read in years and hope that they don't reference the previous storyline that's actually taking place,
right?
In so that I don't get spoiled on it in case I want to read it later. Or do I get? Or do I just not bother and then miss some little stupid little element that probably isn't going to matter to the main story, but might?
Knowing you, Raph, you need to read Zdarsky's run of Batman because it has a character that makes you very happy. So.
I know. I have the first volume on order. I'm not saying, but like that's my thing. I have the first volume on order.
I hear you.
This would be part of volume 2, and I don't want to read ahead because if there's a spoiler, I'm gonna, I'll be a little miffed.
Yeah. Meanwhile, interesting new logo for Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
That's a major change right there. We've had pretty much the same logo for Wonder Woman for years, and this one is very, very different. I mean, as is her costume.
It's just for the crossover?
I don't know. It's possible. Either way, Tom King and Tony Daniel not gonna sneeze at that.
Wrong with them.
Well, I might sneeze at the artist, but not at Tom King. Never.
Yeah.
Daniel has his moments. I look back fondly at the Titans stuff that he did back in the day.
Yep, I was just thinking about that because, well, for one thing, it hasn't quite ended yet for me. But yep, that's his art on Titans was not bad.
Nope. Page 6 for the 12th issue of that, and issue 14 of Jeremy Adams and Mark Guggenheim's Green Lantern as well. Shockingly, an Absolute Power tie-in.
So do you see that 1 in 25 variant?
Yes, I do.
Does that look familiar to you?
It
looks familiar to me.
Kind of does. Why do you own it?
I've owned it for years, but I rebought it recently.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Right?
Yeah.
I just bought this from from the warehouse in Brooklyn.
That's Green Lantern is
100.
100, yeah. Okay.
That's where Kyle meets Hal. He goes back and
Hal. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I found my original copy, but the cover's torn off because I didn't take care of my comics because I was 12 or 13. So I rebought it, and then since it's so fresh in my memory, I saw that and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
I see what you're doing there.
Yeah, it's definitely a send up to it. It's not a trace job, you can tell because
it's clearly it's definitely an homage.
Oh,
it's not a rip off.
Absolutely. But that was actually one of the first Green Lantern comics I ever bought was Green Lantern 100 a day.
Same here. I've been reading briefly before that, maybe like issue 94, 93. I don't remember off the top of my head.
And
Speaking
now,
of...
And now, Mr. Murdough, for you, sir, page 8.
For all of us, Ian. For all of us. 0 Hour 30th Anniversary Special #1, brought to you by a couple of writers who had much to do with the creators and concepts involved. Dan Jurgens, who was Mr. 0 Hour, and Ron Mars, who was Mr. Kyle Rayner.
Yes.
Art by Dan Jurgens, Daryl Banks, Jerry Ordway, Paul Pelletier, Kelly Jones, and more.
Oh, my God.
This is an 80-page giant, people, for $10, and it takes us back to those salad days. I mean, it's celebrating 30 years of 0 Hour, but also celebrating 30 years of Adam Murdough as a collector of DC Comics.
Here.
Wow.
Talk about when we got started with Green Lantern. My first Green Lantern comic was number 48, the beginning of Emerald Twilight, which, of course, led us directly into the career of Kyle Rayner and the events of 0 Hour. And this one-shot seems to promise to take us back to those days and give us a glimpse of what kind of reality Hal Jordan as Parallax might have created if his little scheme had succeeded.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm down for that.
If you look at the first variant cover then on page 9, there was one kind of teaser at the end of one of the issues of the 0 Hour miniseries in which Hal, revealed as the villain, muses that in his new creation maybe one Earth would not be enough.
Ooh.
And he does seem to be thinking multiversally in that image in the upper left there.
Mm-hmm. That is.
I went with the bottom left cover.
Oh, the this one right here.
I would want that, but that cover catches my eye, but I didn't see that 1 in 25, so I'm not going to get that cover. I might go for the other one.
I also remember buying 0 Hour from a drugstore that was down the block from my dad's dog grooming shop back in the day. And I think if I remember correctly, I didn't realize it was counting down. And I think I bought issue 0 thinking that it was the first one. And then was like, clearly I've missed something here, and then tracked down the rest of it and all read it all. But those were the 0 Hour was definitely at the beginning of my reading tenure at DC, and here's to 30 years, man. It's been a good run.
I think this was one of my first trades because I didn't start I was reading, but I wasn't buying week to week until like December of 96. Okay. So Final Night was when I joined DC.
Yeah.
Final Night into Genesis.
I remember shortly after I bought that too, a comic shop opened across the street from my dad's shop on Queens Boulevard. However, anyone familiar with Queens Boulevard knows that crossing Queens Boulevard is not a good idea. So I was not there that often, and unfortunately, the place closed within the next 5 years, I think. But I did my best to go there whenever accompanied by an adult, because I did not want to get run over.
Mm-mm.
It's known colloquially as the Boulevard of Death, for those who aren't from New York.
Yep. All right, so what do we think about this? Jenny Sparks #1 on page 10. Tom King and Jeff Spokes bringing the character of Jenny Sparks back and basing it around essentially her awakening in the 21st century in order to basically continue to protect long after her 20th century is gone.
Yeah, because the whole deal with these avatars of the centuries is that they're supposed to live exactly 100 years and then croak and let the next century, like Jenny Quantum is supposed to be the embodiment of the 21st century. It's supposed to be her gig now. But I guess what Tom King, writer here, is trying to say is that the 20th century's problems and its messes have not quite been adequately cleaned up yet. It's continuing to have a negative effect on this new young 21st century here, and so as a result, its avatar needs to come back and clean up her mess, finish what she started.
Yep.
I mean, that's very true, but also, yeah, I wasn't going to pick this one up. I might wait for the trade on this one actually, as opposed to fully pass on it.
I have DC's app, and it'll be on Infinity a month later. So I'll probably just wait for it to be on there to check it out.
I don't have it. Proton Cannon.
See what I think of the first thing. The first issue.
Yeah,
Let me know.
I'm on board for this one. I mean, and it's Tom King. I've always liked the concept of Jenny Sparks and these century elementals, if you will. Plus, it's got Captain Atom in it, even if the poor guy is gone rogue and is being treated as basically a bad guy again.
Yeah.
Poor guy. I mean, it's every time he goes to the Wildstorm universe, shit hits the fan.
It does. It really does.
I will say.
His fault.
Yeah, I will say I'm a huge fan of the Batman design here on the preview pages. That's one of my favorite styles of Batman, with like the long bat across the chest.
And so we have artist Jeff Spokes to thank for that.
Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, in the world of Elseworlds, yes,
unfortunately timed mini, considering that Marvel's big event is a vampire one. I think.
Yeah, well, no, they totally didn't know this was. I mean,
no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's unfortunately timed.
I know, but at least this isn't Elseworlds. At least it's not them trying to capitalize. Like, I remember Infinity. What was it? Infinity Disc?
Identity Crisis and Identity Disc.
Yes, I remember that all too well.
That was so cynical.
Identity Disc was one of the worst comic books Marvel put out of that era.
That was Quesada. That was like the height of the Quesada Gemis era, I think.
Yes, all their shenanigans.
Yeah. Yep. This is DC versus Vampires World War V. The V stands for vampire. On page 12, it's Matthew Rosenberg, Otto Schmidt on the artwork as well, and they want to suck your blood.
Well, Matt's a buddy, so I might check it out.
Nice. I like the designs of the vampire characters. Seeing Damien all vamped up is a pretty cool sight.
Yeah, that's on brand.
Mm-hmm. And Dark Knights of Steel All Winter #2 under the Elseworlds banner officially. Dark Knights of Steel. Jay Kristoff and Tom Taylor, artwork by Tirso Cons and Riccardo Federici, that is. 2 of 6 on the miniseries front, page 14.
I have the trade waiting because I couldn't. The covers were so gorgeous. I didn't buy them, but I was like, I want to read this series now. So
Yeah.
I bought the trade.
I'm interested in the Gotham by Gaslight Kryptonian age. Returning the Gotham by Gaslight.
Yeah, I was curious about this too. I don't know. I didn't put Gotham by Gaslight together at first. I was like, is this what are they talking about? Then I realized Gotham by Gaslight. Wait, are we going back to like the 19th century?
I guess so.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, it's
I'll check it out later.
Yeah, Diana Themyscira of a very different era. Page 15. This is the 3rd issue of that, and that'll also be a 6th issue. All right, so we are in Endgame for Nightwing. This is the penultimate chapter of Taylor and Redondo's Nightwing, issue 4 of 5, Fallen Grayson, Nightwing number 117 on page 17. This will go down as one of the best Nightwing runs ever.
I'm very early into it, but I really like it.
It's fantastic.
I think, but the problem is, the run started like right before COVID, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm missing issues here and there because during that time, my polls are very spotty.
Yep. Yeah. Well, this has been an app read for me, but I am so thrilled with what Taylor has done with the character of Nightwing, who often flounders. Like they're very regularly at DC didn't know what to do with Nightwing, and then finally the right creator came along. I think this is the best run since Tom King's Grayson run, actually, which took in a very different realm, but did service to the character, and that's definitely what Tom Taylor is doing here with this particular run on page 17. Gotham City Sirens returns on page 18. Leia Williams, Matteo Lally, and we're getting ourselves Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and Harley Quinn together in a caper. Hot tubs and headshots at hot. Oh my. and solicited also issue 2, issue 3, and issue 4. all on page 18 and 19. So yeah,
I can't do all that at once. I'm gonna wait for the trade on that one.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the reports first.
Can I comment on how awesome the cover for Birds of Prey number 12 is? On page 20.
I love it.
So good. Yep.
It was a tough choice for me between that and the Nakayama variant.
Well, it reminds me of the episode of Justice League where they get transformed into kids.
I just rewatched that last weekend.
Nice.
It's like the third episode into Unlimited.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Kelly Thompson's run has been great, and that's issue 12 of that. And unfortunately, Outsiders number 10 is the final issue of Outsiders. Wanzing and Kelly announced that this is the end of their Outsiders run. And ending earlier than anticipated. If it's one, it's issue 11. But either way, this will be concluding very soon, and I'm a little bit upset by that. I was hoping it was going to be an ongoing and not a 10 or less. But we're near the end of that.
It was supposed to be a maxi series, but I thought it was supposed to run for a full 12. So
yeah,
it's even more tragic than if they announced 12 and they're only going to do like 10 or 11.
I agree. Yeah,
that's a shame. Yeah.
It's possible, it was reported it was issue 11 is the final issue. So this is the second to last issue here, issue 10. But I guess they either didn't have enough story to do it, or were told to double it up in issue 11 just to finish things up because it wasn't selling well enough.
Yeah, probably the sales were dragging. But either way, I'm definitely going to read this one in trade because it's looked interesting from the beginning.
Absolutely, and I've enjoyed the first couple of issues immensely. So page 20 for Outsiders number 10. And Batman the Dark Age number 5 on page 21, Mark Russell and Mike Allred. Yep. We're now further into the years here. I love that Robin design. That is really cool.
Is that supposed to be Tim? Because that doesn't look like Damian. He looks a little too big to be Damian.
Yeah, well, Batman Dark Age, Batman kind of ages real time, so I'm not even certain who the Robin would be at this point. So I'll have to get to reading that and get back to you.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. See, if you look at the cover of Action Comics, it's the Black S. I'm pretty sure.
You are right. Yep. And this is Action Comics 1068 by Gail Simone and Rainbow Rowell. Wow. Superman superstars, to say the least. And artwork by Eddie Barrows, Danny Miki, and Cyan Torme. So, yeah, this is something go cosmically wrong as Superman finds himself the champion in a galactic battle between two alien empires.
I got the Dodson.
Nice. Batman Superman World's Finest number 30. It's their first adventure as a trio, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, portrayed here on page 22. Mark Waid and Gleb Melkinov. Dan Morris still on the cover chores, but Gleb taking over on the artwork chores.
I forgot to pre-order that, so I'm going to add that to my order right now.
That's why we do this, Raph. That's why we do this. Can you say
Gleb? Not getting a Superman book? Not happening.
Gleb. Power Girl went back to her old costume very quickly.
Yes, she did. What the hell?
That did not take long at all. This is issue 12 of her run, and that is very much her old costume. Well. It's a very iconic costume, that's sure.
It will not die easily.
No, it will not. Well, this is issue 12 of that, and then Kneel Before Zod's issue 8 on that same page 23.
Wait, where is it?
What in the orders?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to find Batman Superman. It's not. I have everything listed by title, but I'm not seeing it. So.
Well, while you look at that,
keep going.
a reminder that Swamp Thing is in Titans number 14 by Tom Taylor and Lucas Meyer, and I am always a fan of a Swamp Thing appearance. Green Arrow 15. Joshua Williamson will be leaving this book shortly, and he's cutting down on his comics. I believe, actually, because of burnout, he's kind of like hit a wall. He's going to be doing some of his own stuff, but most of the DC stuff that he's doing will be ceasing soon, and he'll be letting somebody else take over.
Isn't he doing Superman right now?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like that's like 3 titles he's on regularly.
I know. Yeah, and I'm not sure if he's going to be continuing on Superman or if he's actually going to be exiting that as well. But I know Green Arrow was mentioned as one of the books he's going to be dropping soon. But Amansi Nahalpan on the artwork chores for this with a great Phil Hester cover. Ooh, look at that cover for Justice Society of America number 12.
So this book is like really late.
It sure is.
It certainly is.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Jeff Johns should just focus on his Image stuff and let somebody else write Justice Society, quite frankly, because I think he might be a little busy.
It's so late. I've ordered. I checked my DCBS orders recently. Mm-hmm. I ordered 10 and 11, 2 to 3 times each because they canceled the solicitation.
Yep,
that's how many times.
Mm-hmm. That is very true. Well, hopefully
I got confused.
Hopefully this one won't get canceled, but we'll see.
Oh, here's hoping.
Especially because it has artwork by Todd Knock. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What do you think of Shazam number 14?
Gentlemen, we have Crocodile Men.
Yes. Deep in the tunnels of the Septa.
Which is
like the cipher.
Yes. SEPTA is not a sci-fi concept. It is a Philly thing.
Yes, it is.
Southeastern PA Transit Authority.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Excellent.
Oh, and I think I see Jeepers from the bat creature from the old-time Monster Society of Evil. So
yeah, that's why I was wondering if that was another creature, if that was just a part of a crocodile.
Yeah, no, that's definitely another creature.
Yep. Okay. That is a bat thing along with the 3 crocodile things.
Right. Okay.
Yep. Page 27, My Adventures with Superman number 3. Josie Campbell, Pablo M. Collar, continuing.
He's turning electric blue.
Oh no!
Look at his arm.
The adaptation of the animated.
I see what you're seeing, Raph.
I love it. I love this series. I'm not completely caught up, but I love this series.
Yeah, I still haven't. I still haven't started season 2. So
yeah, I haven't either.
There. Yep. But how about this? Issue 2 of From the DC Vault, Death in the Family, Robin Lives. So they are continuing this thing even further with J.M. DeMatteis and Rick Leonardi on page 27.
Oh, yeah. I had no idea that they were doing more than one issue. I thought they were just going to release like the unpublished alternate version of the issue of Jason's death. But apparently they brought in DeMatteis and Leonardi to continue the story into kind of an alternate reality space.
Yep.
And not only that, we are getting guest appearances by the Scarecrow, Copperhead, and the Joker. And few people write, quality characterizations of villains as well as DeMatteis does. So I'm sorry that I wasn't on board for this from the beginning, and I'll be definitely buying the trade once such a thing is solicited.
This is like the official version of what John Byrne has been doing as a fan fiction for the past couple of years. John Byrne creating his own X-Men comics, unlicensed by Marvel, over at his message boards. Here's what I would have done if I would have continued. You want to publish that with Marvel, John? No, I'm good. Let them sue me.
They want it.
There have been rumors going around for years now that Marvel asked him, "Would you like to publish this with us?" And he said no because they canceled the Hidden Years back in the day. Like he still holds a grudge.
He was really ticked about that.
He does like to hold on grudges, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
I forgot about that.
Yep. All right. The Nice House by the Sea, number 2. This is an excellent cover. I just had to point that out on page 30.
Still life with border collie and skeletons.
Indeed. Yep. 17 plus. And Mariko Tamaki's Satana Bringing Down the House continues. It's Satana versus bunnies. Page 31. This is a facsimile to get. Page 33. I'd say one of the most important comics of its era. Superman versus Muhammad Ali. Written by Denny O'Neil, art by Neil Adams and Dick Giordano, and a wonderful cover by Neil Adams. This is a full facsimile with the wraparound cover and everything on page 30. You wanted to?
I think I own the original, not the facsimile. I think I own the original.
Nice.
I have to look for it, but nice. I think I want to get the facsimile anyway.
Oh yeah. And Primer Clashing Colors solicited on page 34 as well, collecting the Primer stories that have been told in recent memory, all in one collection. Batman, Robin and Howard Summer Breakdown #2 by Jeffrey Brown. I love this series. Page 38. And Super Pet Special Bite Identity Crisis.
Featuring Dick Grayson's dog, Haley, a.k.a. Bitewing, making some new friends in the Super Pet community. Written by Tony Fleeks. There he goes again with them talking animal funnies. Mm-hmm. Alex Quasarano, Michael Conrad, Dan Waters, and Kyle Starks. And art by Naughton.
Yeah.
Friend of the show.
Naughton, PJ Holden, Samri Basri, Chris Mitten, and Kyle Starks. With a cover by Pete Woods. And a really neat little variant cover down there by, I guess that's Gustavo Duarte.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Very, very, very good variant. Oh, man. The dark side of the dog bed. The many pets of Damian Wayne. You'll have to squeak it to believe it.
I'm going to have to check that out just because Mike's working on it.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to be supporting Norton.
Damn Skippy. Superman 78, The Metal Curtain, collects the 6-issue mini in one package. 40. Yep.
I have the singles, but it's me. I'm gonna buy it.
And this is well worth buying and trade as well. Alan Scott, The Green Lantern by Tim Sheridan, pencils by Cyan Torme. This has gotten high critical acclaim as one of the best comics to have come out in recent memory, and it's great to just see Alan Scott getting his due in a miniseries like this. So definitely check that out on page 41.
It's set during the World War II era, right? It's
right.
Golden Age.
The early days of his career, but with the additional factor of Alan Scott's homosexuality.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's what it was like for him as a gay man in that era, which was not as known for being friendly or tolerant to that orientation.
Yes.
We actually see Alan Scott in Arkham being treated for gayness. So it combines a lot of recorded canonical facts of his Golden Age backstory, but with that additional wrinkle. So
got it.
Very, very well done by Tim. I mean, Doiby Dickles is even there, and the great thing is he knows all of Alan's secrets, and he's cool with all of them.
Nice. Very nice. All right. They've got an Elseworlds Batman Volume 2, 2024 edition by Doug Munch, Kelly Jones, John Beatty, and Malcolm Jones III, collecting Batman and Dracula Red Rain, Batman Bloodstorm, and Batman Crimson Mist, all in one
vampire
package.
Stuff.
Yep, all the vampire stuff on page 43, because vampires are in right now. And the issue 5 facsimile edition of Crisis on Infinite Earths, along with Police Comics #1 facsimile edition, solicited on page 44.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm going to stick with my Millennium edition of that, thanks.
Nicely done. All right, and going through the trades here real quick, Aquaman by Peter David Omnibus, one of the better eras of Aquaman comics.
Yes.
Yep. By David, along with Jim Calafiore, Martin England, Phil Jimenez, and others. Page 45.
Wow. That is 1,584 pages.
Wowzers.
Yeah, that's got all 4 issues of his early 90s Aquaman Time and Tide miniseries, which was kind of like an Aquaman Year 1. Aquaman number 0 through 49 of the Peter David run. I think it was Eric Larson who took over in number 50. Aquaman number 1 million, Aquaman annuals 1 through 4, and 4 issues of a Tempest miniseries with art by Phil Jimenez.
Wow.
I remember that Tempest series.
Yep.
Wow.
Man.
That takes me back.
And a story from Showcase 96, number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Over 30 never before collected issues in this collection, too. So, yeah, definitely worth checking out if you have not read Peter David's Aquaman.
Yep. It remains influential to this day.
Look at that Darwin Cook cover for Batman and Superman, World's Finest, The Silver Age.
Taken from us too soon.
Most
I really
definitely.
want that.
Yep. Page 46 for that.
I can't get it right now, but I really want it.
And the volume 2 of the Mark Waid Omnibus of the Flash, with art by Mike Waringo, Pacheco. Talk about another, taken too soon, Salvador LaRocca. I mean, please, of the 3 artists mentioned, 2 of them are no longer with us. LaRocca being the only one still with us. Yeah. So, yeah, the Flash Mark Waid Omnibus Volume 2, definitely worth checking out.
I think that's when I started reading Flash, too, is Wade's era.
Oh, it was definitely when I started reading Flash. That's a given. Yep.
Did he do the stuff with, what was the first thing I read?
The Walter West stuff was the first stuff that I read. And that was near the end of his run, but he was definitely still there.
Okay, the first issue of Flash I remember is when he had to race with that little electric creature.
Oh, Crackle.
Yeah, Crackle. And he had to save his people because they were racing. Whoever lost the race, their entire planet would be destroyed. And Flash gets around it by opening up all the radio on the planet, and then all the people all of Crackle's people come to Earth.
Okay.
Also, if you go back, I think you missed something.
What'd I miss?
You missed the 1982 style guide. Is it on here?
Is it on here? Because
I inside back cover.
Oh, the inside back cover. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I can't wait to get my hands on this.
Yeah, they did not make that very obvious solicitation, but yes.
My friend Moses had a copy, and because he used to work at DC, and he showed it to me once, but he never opened it for me, and he always kept it behind the counter, and I respect enough to never go through his stuff while he wasn't, when he asked me to watch the front. But I always wanted to get a peek through that, so I already have that on pre-order.
One of the most influential collections of artwork of the era, and still influential today, very much for the style of DC characters, and that was what Jose Luis Garcia Lopez was able to do with that style guide back in 1982. Excellent. All right, over we go to Marvel, and this is
enough. One day soon they'll do another Spider-Man parody cover, and then it will almost make sense again.
Disney What If, Amazing Spider-Man number 55. It has an X-Men send up on it.
I don't get it either. Look, you have Uncanny X-Men 1 sitting right here.
Thank you.
Why couldn't you just give it up?
Right. And speaking of which, let us start off with that.
Oh, yeah, let us.
Oh, my God. Uncanny X-Men number 1, beginning a new era here. Last episode of Comic Timing, we went as in-depth as humanly possible on the Krakoa era with Corwin Crowell. So anybody who has not listened to that one, please go ahead and give yourself the joy of listening to that. Corwin gave us a schooling and tried to make the entire Krakoa era make sense, which is very hard to do because that shit is dense.
There's a lot going on.
Dense and profuse.
Yes. Yep. This is.
I haven't finished reading it.
I mean, I'm. There's parts I've read. There's parts I haven't. I'll certainly wind up going back to it. But this is very much a ground floor. We are beginning anew with the X-Men in a new status quo. And this is Uncanny X-Men number 1, written by Gail Simone with artwork by David Marquez. could not buy this harder if I tried. This is just what a team to be working on a premiere book like Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah,
I'm in on every book, X book except for X-Force. Just because I can't buy every X book. I can't do this again.
No, that's fair.
At least until I'm employed again. You know, like
No, absolutely.
Just no, man. I can't go back.
It's so hard, man, because like
it is. It's so hard,
especially when your Uncanny book has Rogue in the driver's seat, along with Gambit, Jubilee, Nightcrawler, and Wolverine. Like,
I mean, it's half of the 97 team.
Well, yeah. So
Basically.
that's no accident either. But so you guys will be happy to know I'm finally caught up on X-Men 97, and I enjoyed beyond words the very brief snatch I got to see of my two favorite mutants. My first two favorite comic book characters, Nightcrawler and Gambit, actually interacting together on screen.
yes.
That was a great scene too. Like,
and now here they are on the
it.
same X-Men squad for what I think might be the first time in the comics. Not to be wrong about that, but it's great to see.
Yeah, if it's not the first time, it may very well be the second. It hasn't happened very often. Usually there are squads. So yeah, and this like, just in general, the personality that is going to be oozing from the page on this is just gonna. It has to work. and they're mostly set out of New Orleans to start with this. I'm in, and I can't wait to see what Gail's going to do. The artwork is so good. So freaking good. Marquez is one of the best artists around.
I love Marquez.
Yep. And then a book that I forgot was happening, and I'm glad they reminded me, because this is a Wolverine miniseries that I am going to buy in hardcover. Jonathan Hickman on writing, Greg Capullo on artwork. Wolverine Revenge, 1 of 5 on page 8.
Yep, it's Wolverine and dinosaurs and that creative team, and that's all it takes to sell it seems.
Oh, do you need anything else? I mean, come on.
Not really. I'm in.
He's been beaten, he's been bloodied, and Logan only has one thought on his mind: revenge. Prestige miniseries. Yeah, this is going to be a very, very pretty book to buy one. All 5 issues are out, definitely.
A movie variant.
I'm sure.
Because Deadpool. Yeah,
exactly. Oh, and God, Capullo drawing Wolverine, like that's a match right there. That is such a match.
Plus dinosaurs. So
plus dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there's also like a bloody version, also, isn't there?
Yep.
Oh yeah, the red band version.
Yes.
Here it is. Oh wait, no, never mind. We passed it.
No. Oh well. Nonetheless, worth checking out. You know what else is worth checking out? X-Factor #1.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I'm in.
Yeah, this is Mark Russell coming over to Marvel and sampling Marvel's Merry Mutants. So there will probably be some element of satire in here. So maybe harkening back a little bit to the old X-Force Ecstatics days even.
Yeah.
But it's with a group of mostly familiar faces. We got Havoc in here. We've got the High-Flying Angel. We've got Frenzy and Feral of the original X-Force. We've got former Brotherhood of Evil Mutants member Pyro. And more. And and this is coming up in the wake of the whole Krakoa thing, when governments are rushing to stockpile their own mutant armies.
Yeah, my sense of it was they're sort of doing so there was this trend recently on TikTok that I heard about, where like they would have influencers like promote the army, and I'm getting a sense it's like this except with mutants. Well,
essentially. And we talked about this last episode too. It's kind of a joining of the two X Factors. Like it's it's what the original X Factor team was, plus what Havoc's X Factor team was, because working for the government and also like masquerading as one thing but actually being something else is very much a joining of both premises.
Right. Yeah.
And one of that and more Murd is Cecilia Reyes, who is going to be a member of this team, and
It's got you grinning from ear to ear, I'm sure.
Damn right, yeah. One of my favorite underappreciated X characters will be involved here. I am definitely reading this book.
Yeah, given how little she was into being an X-Man the first time around, though, I suspect she's requested a supporting role, like she's on the support staff as opposed to the field team.
I'm sure she probably is. Yeah.
Yep. And Mark Russell, who's a good writer of humor, he's going to be following in the footsteps of Peter David and J.M. DeMatteis, both of whom have written X-Factor in the past.
Most definitely. Page 12 and 13 for that solicitation. And then Jed MacKay, Ryan Stegman. This is issue 2 of their X-Men. And Invasion is the word of the day. And there's also a backup conclusion of Deadpool Wolverine weapon extraction happening in this as well. And a Disco Dazzler variant.
Guess which one I ordered?
I'm sure. Oh, man.
Well, I'm getting that through my buddy at Everyone Comics, so we'll see if I can get it.
Well, I also appreciate the solicitation for X-Men number 3 on page 15, which is Scott Summers versus the United States of America, with him like mid. I can't tell if that's a milkshake or just ice cream that he's shoveling into his gullet.
I'm going to call that a parfait. I don't see layers, but I want to say the word parfait, so I'm going to. Parfait.
Turns out it was a parfait the entire time. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Still not 100% sold on that new costume, but I'm sure once I see it in action, since Stegman is damn good at action, it may win me over a little bit. But it's kind of like a cross between his 90s costume and his X-Factor costume.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yep. But just give him the little, like I said last episode, just give him the thing so he can do this.
But I'm also, I am more pro helmet Cyclops than I am pro hair Cyclops, and I may also be part of it.
Yeah, I definitely prefer the Cyclops cowl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Page 16, Jed MacKay's Avengers. Jed MacKay is everywhere, and Storm is an Avenger.
How many times in history have the X-Men and the Avengers been simultaneously written by the same person?
It has not happened very often. I'd say Claremont wrote a couple of fill-in issues for the Avengers when he was still writing X-Men, if I remember correctly. And I think, didn't Mark Waid write some Avengers while he was writing X-Men? I could be wrong about that, though.
His runs on both were very short, and they were pretty close together. I don't know if they were concurrent.
Yep.
And of course, there was Stan Lee, too, going all the way back to the beginning. And
certainly.
Maybe Roy Thomas, too. I'm not sure.
Yep. But yeah, for major story arcs, it has not happened very often. And yeah, he's the driving force behind both of them right now. I'm assuming his Avengers run may be coming to an end soon because his X-Men run is just beginning. But nevertheless, here he is introducing Storm onto the Avengers, and a very worthy spot for her to be.
Sure.
And that next page, page 17, has X-Force number 2 by Jeffrey Thorne and Marcus Toe. Warfare in Wakanda.
Rachel's on this team.
Yep, Rachel.
Damn it.
Yeah, Rachel's on this team. Yeah. I knew you were going to see that. And Psylocke is on the team, for that matter.
Yes, that too. But I follow the Phoenix wherever she goes, even if it's just one aspect of it.
Jean's got her own series, so you can follow.
I get that series, so I might have to pick that up. I might have to catch up. Well, they're not out yet, so I didn't. Maybe I have time. I'll get it from Demetrius. Let's see.
Meanwhile, I am a huge fan of Laura's new costume here for NYX number 2. That is a damn fine Wolverine costume. Harkens back to Alex Ross's redesign of the X-Men that never got used. Reminds me a lot of the Wolverine costume that he created for that, with a little bit more yellow involved. And thank you, Spacefaring X-Men, page 19. You're damn right. You're gonna get the Starjammers involved, and that is exactly what we're getting. Corsair and the Starjammers in issue 2 of Phoenix on page 19 by Stephanie Phillips.
Let the chuckles begin.
Hey,
boy.
I see feet. I mean, there's a broken ankle, but I see feet. And Deadpool team up number 1 of 5, written by Rob Liefeld, drawn by Rob Liefeld, and paid by Rob Liefeld. It's a 5-issue miniseries. Liefeld fans, more power to you.
It's bringing back Crystar Crystal Warrior because Rob Liefeld felt like it and can.
A lost Marvel Comics character.
I'm surprised Shatterstar's not in it.
He'll find a way. He'll find a way. Yeah.
Maybe he's the one who's lost.
Maybe.
True.
This cover to Deadpool number 5 is fantastic, by the way. Can you grab Daddy's other arm? Not enough word bubbles on comics
covers.
Yep.
Yes, amen to that.
Is that Lila Cheney shirt?
Yep, it's Lila Cheney touring with Dazzler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I gotta get tickets for that.
Good luck with Live Nation, pal.
I was gonna say, like, the resale value is off the charts for that.
You have to sell a kid. Oh wait, I can't do that.
Yeah. Oh, Ohio.
Can't sell a kidney.
It's funny because it's real life. Uncanny X-Men 266 Facsimile Edition, page 24, written by Chris Claremont, of course. This is the first appearance of Gambit in Facsimile Edition. His costume has remained remarkably the same over the years.
Mm-hmm. Why mess with perfection?
Exactly. So, Predator versus Black Panther, number 1 of 4. Benjamin Percy on the writing chores, Chris Allen on the artwork. Great cover by Ken Lashley. Page 26 here. I mean, look, if Batman's taking on Predator, why can't Black Panther?
You know, I am curious about this. Enough to get the singles? No. But enough to read it on Marvel Unlimited? Yes.
Yeah.
Just enough.
Wakanda is prey. That's a cool concept.
It could be fun, yeah.
Yep. So is Ultraman X Avengers. Talk about the shit that I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. And Kyle Higgins co-writing it, for that matter.
Yep, he's done a couple of Ultraman miniseries for Marvel so far, and I think this is the first one that's cross-pollinated him with Marvel characters, though.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Matt Groom co-writing along with Higgins. Francesco Manna on the artwork chores as well. Full 4-issue mini here. Greatest Hero of Japan and Earth's Mightiest Heroes joining forces on page 28. And the Venom War. Al Ewing. I mean, it's worth it for that, but shockingly, a big Venom-type miniseries happens right around the time that Venom's movie would be coming out.
No.
Well, last Venom standing.
Didn't they? So I haven't read any. I haven't even read the thing with Null yet. Didn't kill all the symbiotes at some point?
They got better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I still have to read that symbiote war thing.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there were still some left, and I frankly just wish that Venom and all of the symbiotes looked like what Chris Giarrusso drew them as. Then I would be a lot more interested in what was going on here.
I do love Chris G. art.
Oh man, it's a very classic Venom on the interiors there. All right, and then moving forward past all the Venom and Carnage, we get to Venom War Spider-Man, number 1 of 4, by Kelly and Lanzig, and artwork by Land. So there's a good part, and then there's a so-so part. But this could be pretty cool. Since it looks like it's actually like a cooperative Spider-Man in black suit this time around, rather than the symbiote trying to take over Peter. So
right,
we shall see.
Yeah, I mean, but the cynic, the cynic means like, well, he's gonna have it for like 3.5 issues, and then it's gonna go to whoever it's gonna go to. Yeah, he's not keeping the symbiote.
Oh yeah. How about page 37's Venom 36 with the Punisher homage here? Love that. Good send up.
Well, looks like we have some Molten Man content in there, too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Page 37. Meanwhile, Blood Hunters, 1 of 5. Erica Schultz, Robert Gill, Miles Morales as a vampire. Okie dokie.
He'll get better.
Oh, he better.
I mean, Jubilee did.
That's true. That's true. It took her a while, though, and it kind of also took partially Krakoa, if I remember correctly, to write that ship. But, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Page 39, Dagger, Elsa Bloodstone, White Widow, Miles Morales as a vampire. Check it out if you're into horror books, page 39. This is interesting, though. Werewolf by Night Red Band, Jason Liu and Sergio Davila. Full Moonrise, Werewolf Kill.
Explicit content polybagged. Wow.
Mm-hmm. For your protection.
I haven't seen that since Sex Criminals.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's got to be...
No, that's not true. The Death of Superman anniversary from 2 years ago. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. But that was more send up to other polybag comics of our youth than anything else.
I'm still upset about it because I only managed to get one, and I want one to open and one to keep in the bag because that's how you do that. You don't open,
I'm sure you'll find another one someday, Chief. That's going to happen.
One day.
Spider Society, Alex Segura, Scott Godlewski, every Spider-Man character you love, and some you haven't met yet. So then you don't love them yet because you don't know them yet. That's clearly the way that works. The multiverse continues, even though we said we were done with Spider-Verse, we're not. Spider Society, Alex Segura, Scott Godlewski, do check that out. This is interesting. I see J. Michael Straczynski. Yeah, exactly. I see J. Michael Straczynski's name involved with a Spider-Man comic for the first time in a very, very long time. Page 44. Spider-Man Black Suit and Blood. J.M. DeMatteis, JMS, and Dustin Nguyen. Dustin Nguyen, Elena Casagrande, and more on the artwork. This is basically what they did with actually, yeah, no, this is returning to the pages of Kraven's Last Hunt to tell a never before seen tale of Spidey's past. Wow. And JMS in ripping into Peter Parker and the symbiote. Dustin Nguyen, stunning take on the wall crawler will bring Spidey to uncharted heights. So yes, this is very similar to the Wolverine Red, White, and Blood that came out a couple of years back, where it'll be mostly black and white with hints of color in there for good measure, as some of the industry's finest get to tell some Spider-Man stories.
And then we get a kid's book. We got blood and some kids.
Spidey and his amazing friends. Good.
I mean, that's great,
Place it better in the catalog, please. Page 46. Like, come on. They put it in between this. Page 47. Chasm. Curse of Cain. Marvel, why you do this? Why you do this to my Ben Reilly? Come on.
When did he become Chasm?
Zeb Wells run about halfway through. It was like the Inferno era, a little bit before that when they had the most recent Inferno.
I haven't read Spider-Man since.
The Chasm happened right before Zeb Wells' run because there was a short run where Ben Reilly was back and everybody was like, "Oh my God, Ben Reilly's back!" And by the time it was all said and done, he'd been corrupted and turned into Chasm because nobody can be happy.
I haven't read Spider-Man since Spider-Verse, original Spider-Verse. So it's been a while.
It has been a while, yes. But hey, it's the Battle of the Clones, so there's that.
Ben Reilly and Kane fighting. That's never happened before.
Maybe Spider-Side will show up. Who knows? Oh, man. This Spider-Man Reign 2. I am checking this out. I am an unabashed fan of the first Spider-Man reign, even though it is either loved or hated by people.
Yeah, I remember people being very divided on that.
Yeah, I was a fan of it, so I am checking out this when it's all collected, definitely. As Old Man Peter returns to the past, can he save the future? And most importantly, Mary Jane? Not if Miles Morales has anything to say about it. That is.
They do call it the most notorious Spidey story ever told, so yeah, I guess opinion must have been divided.
Definitely.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think it's divided as some. I mean, like One More Day.
One More Day is probably way more controversial. I mean, there was that story where Norman Osborn had sex with
Gwen Stacy. Yeah.
Yes,
Stacy.
and she bore him twins. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. That's right. The Osborn twins.
They. And now for something completely different. Iron Fist 50th anniversary special. Chris Claremont, Alyssa Wong, Justina Ireland, Frank Thierry, Jason Liu. Tons of artists on this, celebrating 50 years of the immortal Iron Fist in this one-issue special.
Variant artist.
I see Howard Chaykin. Kevin Eastman. Nice.
I think I got the Eastman, although I think I wanted the Eastman, and it's like a 1 in 100 cover.
Oy vey.
Just double check. No, I got the Eastman. It's regular price. Oh, thank God.
Well, there you go. Good.
Otherwise, I would have gone the AHA.
Yeah. Well, when Eastman draws things, you tend to pick them up.
Yeah, I do.
This is going to have not only Iron Fist, but also Justina Ireland and Elena Casagrande's Emergency Call featuring the Daughters of the Dragon, and a Frank Thierry and Ty Templeton Heroes for Hire in there as well. 50 years of Iron Fist. Damn. Page 50, Ultimate Black Panther number 7, Brian Hill, Stefano Caselli. And Ultimates issue 3, introducing the She-Hulk into the new Ultimate Universe. Looking forward to that. She looks a bit different.
The only Ultimate series I'm getting, unfortunately.
Yeah.
In single issues, because I passed on Spider-Man, and I shouldn't have passed on Spider-Man, but I did.
Spider-Man's
so
so
I'm waiting
good.
for the trade.
So
And
good.
no, I've been reading on Unlimited, so
Yeah. Well, this is a very different She-Hulk. Definitely.
yes.
Everybody is different. And the finale of Ultimate X-Men number 6 by Peach Momoko on page 52. This is comic timing. We say it differently.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Gotta know the dialect.
Exactly. Kingpin's Sinister 6 premiere in Ultimate Spider-Man number 8, and it looks like we're going to get an appearance by a Iron Man of some sort as well. All right, going down a bit more. Daredevil versus the New Punisher in Erica Schultz, Daredevil Woman Without Fear. So that's the Elektra Daredevil taking on the new Punisher. Interesting. And Jason Aaron's Namor, 2nd of 8 here. Merge, you picking up Namor?
I don't believe so, no.
All right. Well, I'll let you know how it goes, because I'm definitely going to pick this up when it's on Unlimited, so I'll be on a 3-month delay. But Jason Aaron writing Namor is hard to resist. Page 55. Wolverine Annual has some things that you may be interested in, perhaps.
Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
What? Not the Infinity Watch, Part 5?
The Infinity Stones are people now. Yeah, I care about that. Keep scrolling.
Oy vey.
I miss when they were gems.
So do I, Raph. That's
Yeah.
my
That's the
point.
one thing about the movies that I just don't enjoy.
I know. I also don't understand why Hulk suddenly has long hair again, because it doesn't look good.
Oh, right. That's like Heroes Reborn Hulk.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or actually more like the immediately before Heroes Reborn Hulk, like the Mike Deodato years.
Mm-hmm.
Like post Smart Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. 58, Amazing Spider-Man number 55. We get Todd Nauck double duty this month. One for DC and one for Marvel, as he gets to draw an issue of Amazing Spider-Man. Looking forward to that. Zeb Wells' run is nearing its conclusion, by the way, so I've heard. So we're close to the end of that.
Yeah, I hear it's very dividing.
Conclusion of Zeb Wells' Amazing Spider-Man run. So we'll see who takes over once he's all said and done. Legacy 950th issue of Amazing Spider-Man, I'll point out. That's a thing.
They always do this, though. Like, once they get close to it, they switch the numbering.
Miles Morales annual #1. He's not a vampire in this annual, so that's probably a good sign. Oh, wait, never mind. He's a vampire.
Never mind. What a quick turnaround.
I know. That's the way the cookie crumbles. The vampire cookie. Oh, wow. Spider-Boy meets the Spider Warriors. Page 63. And these are the... Is it just me, or are these all the Spider-Men that were in the series finale of Spider-Man the Animated Series back in the 90s?
Possibly. I haven't seen that season. I haven't seen it since the series finale, so I don't remember.
Because I remember there was a 6-armed Spider-Man, there was a Spider-Armored Spider-Man, there was a Doc Ock Spider-Man, there was Scarlet Spider, and then there was a Spider-Man that didn't actually have any powers as the other one. So, interesting. If they're not sending that up, they are unintentionally sending that up.
No, they have to be. That has to be a reference.
Yeah, it has to be. Meanwhile, Facsimile Edition 259, Amazing Spider-Man, and Secret Wars #8. So we're getting close to being done with Secret Wars on the facsimile front.
All right, looks like Marvel's celebration of the 50th anniversary of Giant Size Marvel books continues. With Giant Size Thor #1. The lead story is a new Immortal Thor tale by Al Ewing and Brian Level featuring Thor versus Hercules, but then the back half of it is filled out with a random Thor issue from like the late 80s written by Bob Harris. So it's not exactly the best value for $6.99, says I.
Yeah. That tends to be the case with these giant sizes that they're doing. I'd rather them just be like 5 or 6 stories that are new rather than the reprints, but can't win them all, I guess.
Or at least give me something like a memorable one shot, like like Frog Thor, or like something like that.
Yeah. Yep. Oh well. Well, it's
Greg Pak making Thor and Hercules fight. That was a funny one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
It's still Al Ewing on the main, so that's good enough for me on page 67. Ryan North continues his Fantastic Four run as the world recovers from Bloodhunt. These covers continue to be fantastic. Pun very much intended.
Yeah, Alex Ross is absolutely killing it.
So good.
We got the Philip Kennedy Johnson's run on Incredible Hulk, exploring Hulk as monster in a Marvel Universe history of monsters. And now apparently we're being told about the first Hulk in the Marvel Universe, which ties the Hulk's legacy into the myth of Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh.
Yep, that first Hulk was Enkidu, which was Gilgamesh's sort of caveman monster pal. And the two of them fought an even bigger monster named Humbaba together, and I think that's what this 2-part story is probably getting into. In Incredible Hulk number 15 and 16.
Okay.
So, side note, I say Gilgamesh like that because of Star Trek Next Generation Season 4, Episode 2. When Picard tells the story of Gilgamesh to Captain Dathan, and Dathan starts, and Picard's getting into it, and then Dathan in the middle of it just goes, Gilgamesh. So so for the last, was it Season 4, so 1991? So for the last 37 years, I just say Gilgamesh.
Sounds about right.
Instead of Gilgamesh. So that's it's just one of those things that get stuck in your head.
Oh yes,
worthy.
We in no way experience those ourselves, Raph. Not at all.
No, never. No. I'm the only person that does this.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. All right. Page.
That needs prices.
Battle plan. Page 74. Scarlet Witch #3. Lore returns.
This is not Data's brother either. This is.
I was gonna say.
Sorry, I stepped on your line, Ian.
No. Please. I'd rather it come from you. Thank you. And another one of Wanda's nemeses may hold the key to her survival. All right. Marvel 85th Anniversary Special on page 75. Wow. Celebrate Marvel's 500th comic book release. 50,000th comic book release. Wow.
So it's their DC 1 million.
Yeah, basically.
It's set in the year 50,000, as opposed to a million months in the future like DC 1 million was.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a random mixed bag in here, but it includes a never-before-seen Alan Davis Excalibur story.
That's pretty cool.
Tempted to buy it just for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the names involved are pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll flip through it at the shop.
Steve Scroce on some of the art there.
I would get the Scotty cover.
Christopher Priest, not bad.
They got Miss Marvel herself.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like an end to Jed McKay's Doctor Strange run here, issue number 18, in the wake of Blood Hunt.
Well,
Good.
He needs to stop.
Good.
So
He's
much.
writing too many books. Well, I hope they get somebody that good to take over. Pasquale Ferry's been knocking it out of the park on the artwork on this. I've seen some of it. He's been outstanding. But then again, he always is.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna just.
JMS's issue 12 of his Captain America run. He made it to 12 issues, Murd.
Well, he's proven us wrong. That's good for him.
Yep. All right. Further down, we make it into the Star Wars side. And Star Wars Darth Vader number 49. Imperial Schism nears its thrilling climax. As Greg Pak continues his run on the Darth Vader book.
Yeah, I bought a whole lot of Marvel Star Wars material until they jacked up the price line wide to $4.99.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Understandable. And meanwhile, in the world of Micronauts.
Reprints.
Yep. Micronauts, the original Marvel Years Omnibus Volume 3 by Bill Mantlo and Peter B. Gillis. As this collects Micronauts 55 through 59 and Micronauts The New Voyages 1 through 20. So this concludes the original run and then begins the second run here. And this concludes the first ever reprinting of the Micronauts.
It's been a long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
Did they reprint ROM recently?
Yes. They've been reprinting Micronauts and ROM. So yeah, both of those have recently been reprinted. The rights, I guess, they cleared up the rights enough to be able to do
figure that out.
Yep.
Who had the rights? Hasbro?
Was it Hasbro? I think it might have been Hasbro. Yeah, I think they may have made a deal with them, if I remember correctly. Page 94, Marvel: The End Omnibus, Jim Starlin, and a whole bunch of other people. Because this isn't just Jim Starlin's Marvel: The End. This is like every single end. Wow.
That's a lot of endings.
Peter David's Hulk The End is in there, Wolverine The End, many different volumes of X-Men The End, which I just read last summer, I might add. So there's a lot of Claremont in there. Fantastic Four The End, Iron Man The End, Captain America The End, Captain Marvel The End, Deadpool The End, Doctor Strange The End, Miles Morales The End, and Venom The End. The End.
I think I only read the Marvel Universe one out of all of these.
I've read Hulk: The End. That's one of Peter David's finest works, honestly. It's fantastic. I read, I think, the first volume of X-Men: The End, then realized it wasn't worth reading book 2 and book 3, so I did not.
Yeah, it felt kind of endless.
Yes, it very much did. Yeah, and I think I read Starlin's end books as well, if I remember correctly. But yeah, the end was an interesting concept when it came out. You know, giving us quote unquote final stories on a bunch of different properties. All right, and that was on page 94. Always have to double check because they only put pages on every other page because the Marvel previews. Secret Wars by Jonathan Hickman getting reprinted here, page 95. If you haven't read that, that was a very much a game-changing, world-changing event, and that is collected here in hardcover form on page 95.
I liked it, but I like his Avengers run. I think it wasn't as good as his Avengers run.
I agree. I would agree with that, yeah. And good Marvel Masterworks to pick up here. Mighty Thor Volume 23 hardcover. Simonson and Alan Zelenitz on the writing chores. Artwork by Simonson with Bob Badansky and Charles Vess included in there as well. Yep. We got some good Beta Ray Bill action included in this particular Masterworks volume on page 99. Collecting Thor 337 to 348, annual number 12 of Thor, and Marvel Fanfare number 13 from 1982.
You know, I gotta say, I hate the website version of Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to find where I left off on Amazing Spider-Man, and it's like pulling teeth trying to search for anything on here.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna be able to do that. You wait till you have an app. Wait till you have an app version.
Yeah, my iPad's in the other room.
Yeah. Well, page 100 here, I missed this at first, so I may actually pick this up in trade, quite frankly. Deadpool and Wolverine World War III trade paperback. Joe Kelly and Adam Kubert. Like, that's some good pedigree right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Kelly is the Deadpool writer for me.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So I think, yeah, that's definitely...
It's Nicieza and Kelly. Those are the two that do Deadpool best for me. And yeah, this collects all three of the oversized issues, 112 pages for $16. So not too shabby.
Yeah, you know, I think I missed that series entirely too, Ian. So that's
well, there you go. There it is in trade. It's right there.
right in front of me.
All right. I want to point out She-Hulk by Rainbow Rowell Volume 5. Unfortunately, it has been reported that issue 10 is the final issue of the sensational She-Hulk. Rainbow Rowell's run has come to a conclusion, so this will collect the final issues of Rainbow's run. She was given advance warning, so she is going to be able to actually, finish things out of what she was doing. But real shame to see this come to an end, as it's been one of my favorite books for a couple years now in both forms. And I hope Rainbow Rowell has, something on the horizon with Marvel in one form or another to follow this one up.
Yeah, I liked her Runaways run too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't finish it. I still have to finish it, but I read the first 10 issues.
She didn't get to finish it. They canceled it out from under her, basically. So she still had 2 or 3 arcs that she wanted to do.
Oh yeah, well, it's also a pandemic book. It was killed by the pandemic. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So page 106 for that She-Hulk by Rainbow Rowell Volume 5, all in. And Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch's book, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, that is, which is being solicited as Scarlet Witch Volume 3, available on page 107 for those of you that were waiting on it.
Mm-hmm. Collects that miniseries, plus as a bonus, their first ever appearance in X-Men Volume 1, number 4, as Brotherhood of Evil Mutants members.
Nice. All right. And to close us out of the Marvel books, let's bring us down to a Fantastic Four Epic Collection. This is a new printing of Volume 1 of Fantastic Four. And the Epic Collections are always a good way to read books. This is 456 pages of content for $45. Collects the first 18 issues of Fantastic Four in one Epic collection by, of course, the one and only Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. You're getting the earliest Fantastic Four comics in one collection. And then, for variety's sake, Roy Thomas and Len Wein's Fantastic Four in the Counter Earth Must Die trade paperback on page 121. That's volume 10 of the Epic Collections.
And we get some early George Perez art in there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Along with the Buscema's and Ron Wilson and Rick Buckler in there for good measure.
Yeah, if you like The Impossible Man, he's on hand too.
Mm-hmm. And one more here, Power Pack Into the Storm. This is collected as a graphic novel-sized trade paperback. So this will collect the 5 issues of Power Pack Into the Storm, as well as Power Pack Grow Up from 2019.
Wow.
It's got Wheezy and June Brigman back with Power Pack action. So the original team back together for another Power Pack story. Well worth checking out.
So it's worse than I thought. I haven't read Spider-Man since 2015.
Wow.
The early part of the Dan Slott run with Alex Ross on covers.
Oh boy.
So we're talking Spider-Man in the legacy numbering. It's like 780. So I have 120 issues of Spider-Man to catch up on Amazing Spider-Man, not the other stuff.
You can skim and you can catch yourself up. There you go.
Well, unlimited, so.
Yeah. We're back to the main previews. Page 186, I start us off with, as a Blaze brings us another Osamu Tezuka book, Neo Faust. After years of failure to discover the meaning of the universe, Professor Ichinoseki decides to end his own life, but he is interrupted by the sorceress Mephiste. Not Mephisto, Mephiste. They strike a bargain. In exchange for Ichinoseki's soul, Mephiste will grant his wish for a fulfilled life. This was originally published over the course of 1988. Neo Faust is the final of 3 adaptations of the classical Faust legend by the godfather of manga, Tezuka, which Ablaze is proud to present in English for the very first time. Well worth mentioning on page 186.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
And the Sumerian collectible version cover pack. That's a bunch of words. Robert E. Howard and Various bring us this true Conan, unrestrained, violent, and sexual take on the Conan character. But it's not Conan; it's a Sumerian. We can't actually put that on the cover. So, yep. They sure can name him that inside, and they will on page 194.
Isn't he due to hit the public domain in the next, 10 years?
I think this may have possibly been part of that, quite frankly.
Okay.
Why they're able to, call him that inside, but not on the outside, because Conan is still it's trademark, but it's also public domain. Yeah, it's one of those fun things. All right. Kids and Monsters catches my eye here. Adam Lawson on the writing, art by Maxi Dallo. Stranger Things meets Pokemon in Adam Lawson's Kids and Monsters, co-writer of the massive hit series The Exiled, and the director of Will Wheaton's Tabletop, Spellslingers, Sagas of Sundry, and Escape the Night. Delivers something for younger readers in this all-new teen horror adventure. Interesting concept, and
the Goosebumps homage.
Yeah, that's what caught my eye in the first place here. So yeah, if you're looking for an all-ages teen horror book, this will be for you on page 203. A little bit more here. Yes, Terrifying Tales, the anthology collection, written by my favorite Various. And cover by Robert Hack. Such a hack. Perfect primer for the Cursed Library. So you got a whole bunch of Archie horror stories here for you, because nothing's scarier than August in page 215. A little early for Halloween, but...
a little bit.
Yeah. Nice to get some anthology collection action going, either way. Sinister comics include Betty the Final Girl, Pop Chocolate Shop of Horrors, The Cult of the Wilkin Boy, Jinx, A Cursed Life, Camp Pickens, Strange Science, and Madam Satan, Hell on Earth. Nice selection there.
A little more my speed on page 216 there. It's a one-shot featuring one of those forgotten MLJ comics of yesteryear, Kardak the Mystic. Brought to you by Joe Corallo and Butch Mappa.
Yes, indeed.
He's in the vein of, Mandrake the Magician or Zatara.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Almost a spitting image of Zatara, quite frankly.
But now, the gem of the Archie section of the catalog this month on page 218.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Archie the Decision.
Yes.
It's just a single, it looks like it's just a one-shot, 32 pages, but it's written by Tom King with art by Archie mainstay Dan Parent, and it's called Archie the Decision, in which we see what happens when, as filtered through the lens of Tom King's writerly vision, Archie finally chooses between Betty and Veronica, or possibly a dark horse option C. Maybe he's going to pull a Cheryl Blossom on us, who knows?
Maybe.
But It's Tom King, our friend, writing, an Archie comic. And that's an event, so we're definitely going to be checking that out.
Absolutely, and it'll include Josie and the Pussycats, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It's got the whole Archie cabal included here. So excellent.
The twist is he picks Jughead.
Yes, what a twist! And also available, blast from the past, a facsimile edition of Betty and Me. Once again, scripted by Various, cover by Dan DiCarlo.
Yes, and just read the word balloons on that cover carefully, and you'll see why they decided to reprint this.
Archie, did you have me? I sure did, Betty. I had to beat off 3 other guys. But why'd they have to bold and red beat off? I mean, come on.
In the 1950s, things were a little different.
Oh my God. Yes, they were more than a little different. Please. Yeah. Let's get the dark horse. Yep. And not a lot of single issues. However, Sergio Aragonis grew minstrel melodies. The Gru versus hapless wandering minstrel and his smart daughter, Kaylee, roam the land. Traveling from town to town, they sing tales of Gru wherever they go, bringing laughter, joy, and lessons to the townsfolk, and hopefully some copins in their pockets. So we get some nice traveling minstrel Gru action for you all on 229.
Okay. If you could rewind for a second to page 228, there is a new Scott Snyder project to mention.
Ah, yes.
Yep. There in the upper right, it's Duck and Cover. It's written by Scott Snyder with art by Raphael Albuquerque. And it's a manga-influenced teen adventure set in the strange post-apocalyptic America of 1955. So, alternate history.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm in.
Yep. Thought you might
That's
be.
worth the flip through.
Uh-huh. Yep. Everything changed in 1955, clearly. And talking about page 230, The Magic Order 5. Mark Miller, Matteo Buffagni. The final volume begins as Cordelia Moonstone is told she's going to die soon and there's nothing she can do about it. She broke the rules and now she has to pay the price just like all her friends. So you can catch up on the other Magic Order stuff, but this begins the final volume and the final chapter of the Magic Order on page 230.
Oh!
And yes, further down there, we've got 2 things that I want to mention on the further down. Raph, feel free to mention the Masters of the Universe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I know you were going to.
Well, yeah, because not only is that written by Tim Seeley, it's also drawn by our friend Freddie Williams II.
Yes, indeed.
By the power of Greyskull. Turtle power!
Yep.
I knew Turtle power of Greyskull.
and the Freddie Williams II cover has Michelangelo wearing a He-Man wig.
That's true. I mean, the covers are great. My only criticism is there's not enough Raph.
Oh, God. There's enough Raph. There's Raph on it, okay?
I mean, on the main one, but he's not bad.
Oh, come on. This is going to be a super, super fun miniseries. Definitely.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, like...
Can't miss.
Oh, yeah.
I wish... It'd be better for me if I was attached to both franchises, not just the one.
That's
good news for me, Raph, because I am attached to both franchises.
Then you're going to enjoy it.
I'm hard, man.
I'm definitely in. I just wish I had gotten more into He-Man so I could be doubled in.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I do like Masters of the Universe because I grew up on the Dolph Lundgren movie. don't remember the cartoon that well.
Let's move to the left, shall we, Raph? Because
Yes.
I think you're going to be interested in this as well. The Masked, would that be pronounced Mache or
It would be pronounced Macher, because if you look at the fine print underneath, it says Macher is Yiddish for big shot.
Shalom. There we are. Yes. It's the 1930s. An aspiring actor, Tony Hollywood, I'm sure that's his natural real name, is about to make his big break. Finally got an audition for the role that will change his life, but a flat tire sends him to a different stage. Breaking down outside a wrestling arena lands him a new part to play. The Masked Macher. Hey, it pays.
Even no one knows what Maka is.
Exactly. David Goodman.
Yeah, that looks interesting.
Alex Andres. Yeah, this is a wrestling book I can definitely get behind.
Okay, Dark Horse. I'm getting 3 books from you this month. Okay.
There you go. All right. Let's scroll down a little bit more here. They are continuing to do some Star Wars stuff, however, covered to be revealed as they continue their High Republic adventures. This one is issue 2, Echoes of Fear, on page 232.
I just wish they'd get to the edibles arc already.
Summer Shadows, number 1. John Harris Dunning, Ricardo Cabral. This is takes place on the Greek island of Avraxos as he's looking for his ex. Anthony was the love of his life, and without knowing why he left, Nick can't move on. But Anthony isn't the only one to disappear on Avraxos. Coast Guard officer Alekos Korkulos is on the trail of another young man missing on the island. They learn they both fell in with the glamorous set on board a jet black super yacht, the Nix, before vanishing. And there is a mystery behind that to be found in Summer Shadows number 1, 232. Survival Street, the Radical Left, also looks pretty interesting too. James Alsmus, Jim Festanti. Political Satire by James Alsmus, as you could tell by the title on page 233.
Yep. It's
A satirical mashup of Sesame Street and RoboCop.
Okay, sure.
Okay, 4 books. Okay.
Well, Dark Horse is also putting out another book, a trade paperback from a man that you may know, Mr. Jamal Igle on the artwork chores, Scott Snyder on the writing. So if you wanted to own the full trade paperback of Dudley Datsun and the Forever Machine, it is available to you on page 234. Godspeed.
Singles.
Well, there you go. Double dip by the trade too.
Yeah, well, eventually.
Fair. What is this? Fortune and Glory, the musical by Bendis?
Yeah, I have an attachment to the original Fortune and Glory miniseries that Bendis did a long time ago. It was the first thing I had ever read by him, actually. And it told the real life, or more or less real life adventures of him trying to get his Torso series adapted into a movie.
Oh, yeah.
How Hollywood was screwing him 6 ways from Sunday, every step of the way.
I remember that.
Yep. I enjoyed that one. It was funny stuff. But now he's returning to the concept with Fortune and Glory, the musical, which tells the story of how Bendis, as the writer of Ultimate Spider-Man, was tapped as an advisor on the Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark Broadway musical.
Oh, boy.
Bendis intersects Broadway.
Oh, my God. Yeah. I am going to pick this up, knowing now what it is about. I am going to pick this up because I have a lot of fun reading about that disaster. I got to see the retooled version of it back in the day, and for those of you who go into the archives of Comic Timing, there was an extra point I released back on January 6th, 2014. Featuring Raph and I's Dungeon Master, Austin, who came on to talk about him when he got to see it, because he saw the original version of Turn Off the Dark before it got retooled. And then Chris and I saw the retooled version, so we talk about that in full detail on that extra point. Yeah,
My friend at work went to the one where the guy fell and broke his leg.
Oh, really?
He was in the audience for that one.
Wow. Man.
So, yeah. What a strange little show.
Yeah, they still don't know why it was called Turn Off the Dark. It's like, well, that sounds cool. Like, all right, fine. Oh, man. On that same page, by the way, 235, Tony Parker's Naked City catches my eye. This is a long-awaited graphic comedy from Tony Parker. Three bohemians struggle to answer the question, is it possible for an artist to survive in the 21st century? And I'm sure there's many artist friends of ours that are asking that exact same question. But
I just gave the answer away. Sorry. It's no. We can't.
Yeah.
You get to something else.
Well,
You're going to have to do Instacart or something on side.
Naked City will give us those answers and more. And he's living in New York City, so that's going to be even harder for somebody to deal with as an artist.
That's Uber, Lyft, and Instacart.
Yes. 235 for that one, Naked City.
Okay. Oh wait, Dark. I skim. So here's the thing: I don't get my previews. I don't get the main catalog anymore. I skim the solicits. I gotta pay more attention. Well, that's like 5 or 6 books I'm interested in from Dark Horse.
Again, this is why we do this, Raph. It's just to be a bad influence on you.
I haven't looked through previews in such a long time.
237. This might be something for you, Raph, and I know might be something for you, Murd. Godzilla Monster Island Summer Camp.
Oh, it's already on my radar. I buy a lot of Godzilla books from IDW.
Nice. Oh man, I've been in a Godzilla mood lately. This looks great. A Rosie Knight on the writing, Oliver Ono on the artwork. A fresh Godzilla original graphic novel proves that kaiju are for kids. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we don't. Yeah, but the movies. I mean, we don't. I don't know. I just rewatch. So, Shout Factory has a YouTube channel now that plays. It's called Toku Shoutsu, where they play. They specifically have a Godzilla marathon that replays the Showa era specifically. And I just rewatched Son of Godzilla yesterday, and I've been rewatching Godzilla movies since I moved back from Maryland because I just love Godzilla, really love Godzilla for some reason again, and it's just it's bad. It's really silly and bad. I mean I love it. I love it. Because I remember it, and I love it for what it is. But like from an objective standpoint, it's bad.
Godzilla -1 exists, and that's really all we need. So that's enough said. That movie was.
The Heisei era is very good. It's just the technology isn't quite there yet to tell a great story. It's fine.
More Godzilla collections. Godzilla: The Complete Monsters and Protectors graphic novel. Eric Burnham and Dan Schoening. This collects a bunch of Burnham's Godzilla stuff into one package. On page 2.
I have a bunch. I think I don't have one of those minis. I have 2 of them though.
Have you been buying the Star Trek stuff, Raph?
Yes, I'm getting 23. I'm getting 500, and I'm getting DS9. I have not read much beyond the first volume, what would be like the first 6 issues of both of them.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's just I've been moving stuff, and they're in a box somewhere that I need to go uncover.
That Joelle Jones cover for Star Trek 500 is gorgeous. Going all eras of Star Trek as well. Even throwing Lower Decks in there, but it's their human counterpart versions, not the animated ones. But that's fine.
I did Shax's Best Day. Terrific.
Yeah, nice. That's all available on 239, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Best of Dark Leo one shot, page 240. He's Leo and he's dark.
Needs more Raph.
Yeah, I know. It's not dark. It's not dark Raph. I'm sorry.
Although, the new Jason Aaron Ninja Turtles continues. Issue 2. Obviously, I'm getting into that.
Oh yeah.
If I could afford a $150 compendium, I would buy yet another version of the original Ninja Turtles run.
I think you're good. I think
I'm really good. So I have the Mirage reprint. I don't have the complete IDW reprints. Because before those compendiums, they did hardcovers. I have the Volume 1 hardcover. I don't. They're just so pricey. It's just even those hardcovers were like. I don't think they're in print anymore anyway. But they're like $75, $100, somewhere in that. I haven't bought one in ages.
Not
But yeah,
worth it, man.
it's
Not
pricey.
worth it. Resist.
Well, I don't own them. I only the compendium doesn't even have the Mirage compendium is not even the complete run, so I need a complete run.
Well, Night Watcher catches my eye. That was a free comic book day special that they're now bringing into a full issue. Who is Night Watcher? You'll have to find out in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Night Watcher #1. Junie Ba and Pharaoh P on page 240.
It delves into the grim reality of New York after the mutagen bomb.
Ooh.
I guess that's something that happened recently in some comic or other. I don't know.
I think it's part of Aaron's story.
Yeah, I think so too. Yep.
Because 150 is I haven't read it yet, but it's supposed to tie everything up. Like this current era, it's supposed to be a clean cut.
Can I point out two things on page 242? Dark Spaces Dungeon trade paperback. That's another Snyder book worth checking out. Tell no one. It repeats. Tell no one. It's a horror book, and there's a dungeon master. So yeah, it's D&D plus horror. That's worth checking out in general. But the David Mazzucchelli Batman Year One Artist Edition, Frank Miller, David Mazzucchelli. Damn.
It's going to be gorgeous, but it's
yeah.
also $150, which
Yes, it is. And
not something.
even with discount, you're not going to get any cheaper probably than like 100 on it. But it
Maybe 90.
certainly looks beautiful. Yep.
Oh, and Jack Kirby's Eternals. Oh my God.
Man.
Which is also written by Frank Miller with art by David Mazzucchelli, apparently.
Really?
No, it's not.
No, I know, but I know. I'm just saying, like, really, IDW?
I know,
Like,
I
why?
know. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Hey, at least they have covers for their things now, because like there were a couple of months there where they didn't even have covers.
Yeah, they're not doing that great.
Yeah.
I can remember one like April O'Neil, like Best of April O'Neil collection, where they misspelled the word April on the cover.
Yep, I remember that.
Arple O'Neil.
Oh
That
my
was-
God.
Like March, I think, or April. It's very recent.
For
Within
something
the last year.
for something completely different, also having Halloween in August, the Simpson Treehouse of Horror Ominous Omnibus Volume 3, available out of Abrams Comic Art on page 245.
Yep, third of 3 hardcovers collecting all 23 of Bongo Comics' Bart Simpson's Treehouse of Horror one-shots.
Excellent.
Exactly.
Dope. Uncle Sam Special Election Edition, written by Steve Darnell and Alex Ross, drawn by Alex Ross. I don't have to say anything else. Page
I thought that was a
246.
DC character.
Well, it's not the like Will Eisner Quality Comics leader of the Freedom Fighters, Uncle Sam. It's
It's just generic Uncle Sam.
yeah, basically it's Alex Ross doing like some mid to late '90s social commentary using the icon Uncle Sam
Yeah.
as a storytelling device.
It was originally published by DC as
Vertigo.
the solicitation says. Yep, under Vertigo, but I guess Darnell and Ross must own the actual publishing rights, and or at least have got,
That's what I was wondering.
yep, and are now re-releasing it under Abrams. So yeah, Uncle Sam Special.
Oh, it says collaboration with DC.
Well, there you go. Yeah, Abrams does do collaborations, so that doesn't surprise me. 246. Garth Ennis has a new book called Babs under Ahoy. Good get by Ahoy. 247.
Yeah.
Yep. Jason Burrows on the artwork as well. So he's worked on Punisher and Crossed, obviously, before this. This is about Babs, a barbarian thief with an itchy metal wardrobe and the world's worst enchanted sword named Barry. This is a very Garth Ennis concept.
It's sword and sorcery, only silly.
Indeed.
I think I'm going to enjoy it very much. It's a 6-issue miniseries.
Yep. So
Check it out.
issue 1 available on page 247.
Final issue of Wrong Earth.
Yep. The Wrong Earth Dead Ringers, issue 5, page 248. And scroll down a little bit more here. We got
Archer and Armstrong?
Yes, indeed. Archer and Armstrong Assassination Nation, written by the one and only Fred Van Lente, art by Emiliano Urdanala, and most importantly, it only costs $5.
Oof.
I know. Mind you, the first couple of artists formerly known as Valiant books that Alien was putting out had price tags up to like $12 for single issues. So this is better. This is better. Keep it at $5. That's fine.
Yeah,
Man, what a precipitous fall that Valiant's had.
You ain't kidding. Yep. Speaking of Valiant, the Valiants, number 404. So concluding that miniseries on page 252. Bloodshot gets a new book by Dwayne Straczynski, art by Manuel Garcia and Barry Kitson. Interesting. Collects Bloodshot 1 through 13. Mm-hmm. Yep. This collects 1 through 13 of that Bloodshot on 255. Very nice. All right. Scrolling in a little bit more here. Past Americans. I don't think they have anything of note this month. And let's check out the Makers Club. Join the Makers Club, where art and science come together. Graphic novel contains 2 stories in one. In the first story, readers meet Nadia and Priya, who are paired up for a science fair project with Nadia's art and Priya's coding skills to make a video game that's sure to impress, but soon learn there's more to teamwork than just having the individual skills. Then in the second story, Aguila and Yang reconnect at their new school as they're both trying to pursue their passions in fashion design and engineering, all about different types of making. On page
friendship.
71. And friendship, which is the biggest make of all.
Yes. It's a good YA graphic novel.
Indeed. All right. Past the 87 Avatar books that are all the same.
Finish Uber.
Ah.
They're not going to. They're not.
288, The Resistance Volume 1. It's J. Michael Straczynski. It's Mike Deodato Jr. It's being collected as one full collection here. So if you have not checked out The Resistance, now is the time to do so. That is an excellent creative team on page 288.
It's only $10 too. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Yep.
And a bunch of other trades, also from AWA, and also only $10.
Yeah, they're doing the image thing basically.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
It is a good idea.
Yes, it is. The somewhat incredible Jackie Boy Man. I am 100% mentioning for the name. And it's written by James Asmus, with art by Megan Huang. Created by YouTube sensation Jacksepticeye, the somewhat incredible Jackie Boy Man is an all-new ongoing series set in the world of the Ultraverse. Not the Ultraverse. That's something very different. A long time ago in a gifted with great power and great nope, not that either. After a lifetime of fandom and fantasy, Jackie was caught in a strange cosmic cock-up that gave him amazing powers, or at least fairly impressive physical abilities. Now inspired by the kinds of heroes from his favorite comics, anime, and video games, he's trying to be a real-life superhero in an otherwise ordinary world as the somewhat incredible Jackie Boy Man.
So apparently Jack is Irish, and he has 30 million subscribers on YouTube. I vaguely know who he is.
He's one of those guys who just plays video games on YouTube, and people watch him do that.
Yeah, that sounds.
Well, I've spent the last 4 years watching people play video games on Twitch and YouTube. So yeah,
He's one of those guys.
He's one of those guys. I just wasn't that familiar with him.
I am not all familiar with him, but I am familiar with how this sounds like an interesting concept, that it's written by James Asmus. So that more has my eye than whoever created the character in the first place.
Yeah.
Page
it'll be fine in James's hands.
Oh yeah, I would say so as well. Yep.
Go back up to that Void Silver.
Yes, Void Silver, Alejandro Arbona, and Susie Blake involved with this. Also by Jacksepticeye. So this is
his little comics universe.
This is his comics universe that he's liking and subscribing by together into one thing. So,
speaking of which, if you're watching this on YouTube,
make sure you like and subscribe. All right.
Click the notification bell.
No, oh dear God, I can't say that with a straight face. I really can't. Like, I'm sorry. I will 100% like, you know, promote the show, but like I can't do the like and subscribe. Hey, all right, boom, 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 boom.
Smash those buttons.
Somewhere out there is a 5-year-old who's pretending to be a YouTuber who's saying that regularly.
Oh, I know. I
don't know how I feel about that.
How do you feel about the last Starry Night? That was very interesting.
I'm intrigued, actually. I feel intrigued.
There you go. Jameson Adone, after his release from the St. Paul Asylum in 1890, Vincent Van Gogh, or Van Gogh, depending on where you are the world, wandered the French countryside before stumbling on the
BRZRKR in the quaint little inn in Auvers-sur-Oise.
Thank you very much. Although still plagued by mental illness, he found some peace there among his adopted family, painting over 75 works of art in just 3 months. This is a 132-page color graphic novel based on his first-hand account, The Innkeeper's Daughter, with whom Vincent shared a special bond. This is fascinating to me. Very cool.
Yeah, that's an interesting story.
Yes, it is. Yep. I'm glad it's happening. Page 295. All right. Getting further in. A early Tim Sale masterpiece, back in print and in full color for the first time. Page 306. Billy 99 by Sarah Byam and art by the one and only dearly departed Tim Sale.
Mm-hmm. Colored by Jose Villarrubia.
Yes. Yep. This looks gorgeous, and as stated, the color is new. The re-release is new, and I'm very happy to see this in the world because honestly, anything by Tim Sale should be available for all, and Clover Press is making this happen. So 232 pages of full color story here for $45.
Set in 1999, Billy 99 embodies a cautionary tale in which corporate greed and corrupt government affected in America very much like our own today. With that, they pose the question, what is power when everything has been taken away?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. And looking at the artwork, it's just as gorgeous as you would expect it to be.
Yeah.
So great. Well, once again, happy to see that in print. This is an advanced solicitation, by the way, so it will not be available until September 25th of 2024. Craig Yo brings us Wonder and Man, wildly surreal autobiographical telling of Craig Yo himself. Would not expect anything different from the man. This looks very surreal. Page 307 for that. Bringing it down to Two Tales, a graphic novel by Kifuri. Once again, I don't think that's their real name. University student Rara detests animals, and she absolutely hates cats until one fateful night when a fatal bike accident changes everything. A second chance at life beckons, but there's a catch. She has to get her body back. The bigger catch, she's now a cat. That is indeed a catch. looks
like fun.
Yeah, and it looks like a cool concept, and she has multiple tails, so she can hang out with Sonic.
Sure.
Page 311 for that one, Two Tales graphic novel. I'm just going to mention this one in passing. This is just a regular book, but Native Trees of Canada. Page 312. You want to know more about trees? Here you go. It's there.
Looks like it's an art book with drawings of a bunch of different leaves and needles and things.
Yeah. Pretty cool. For all you tree fans out there.
Dendrophiles, if you will.
All right. More distillery stuff. Brian Azzarello, Stephanie Phillips bring us a debut series called Life. And they don't really say a lot about it.
It's a masterfully crafted flip book, housing two narratives that collide in unexpected ways. All right.
Okay.
So it's about a couple of different things.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And any of you who have the physical copy or are reading along with us here, you can scan the QR code to learn more about this distillery book, Life.
I'll go to the website.
And then The Missionary #1 by Brian Stegman and Jason Howard. That is a team right there.
For fans of Preacher, Chainsaw Man, and The Exorcist. Good cover. They got a manga in there.
Yeah. That's really nice. Digging the look of that horror comic 100%. And, of course, Zdarsky, David Brothers, and Marcus Toe. Time Waits #1. This I am reading. Sci-fi adventure. Yeah. Wow.
A History of Violence and Looper.
Yeah.
Yep. There is absolutely time travel involved.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I also fully admit that I read it as Tom Waits at first, and I was like, what? And like, no, it's Time Waits. It also doesn't help that I just watched The Ballad of Buster Scruggs the other day, and Tom Waits is in that.
I see.
Oh, here's some more on Life.
Yes, because that's the way Distillery is doing this. They're just soliciting and then soliciting further a couple of pages later.
Mm-hmm. And then soliciting everything all over again next month and probably the month after that. It's hard to wrap your head around how they manage and schedule their releases.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Life is going to be a 6-issue mini. It's a 56-pager. And it's set in the future. Death penalty be considered an act of kindness, as covert experiments have forced criminals with multiple life sentences to serve all their time in full term under extended lifespans. Abandoned for centuries, the prisoners are shocked to see a ship approach filled with thieves, hoping their next big score is on the planet's long-dead mine. While the prisoners scheme to find a way off the planet, the thieves plan their biggest score of their careers. Interesting. Yeah, the artwork's as beautiful as you would expect it to be, so that's no big shock there. It's just Distillery has 87 solicitations right now. Missionary is all about Bryce Hunter, a devoutly religious man whose fate is shattered when he catches his wife being intimate with an elder from his church. Harrowing event sends Bryce spiraling into the hands of a demonic entity known as Uvidis. Instead of rejecting possession, Bryce accepts him and wants to learn to be bad. Fascinating.
So kind of go somewhere morally gray.
Yep. Kind of a Ghost Rider Venom type of situation going on there with the missionary. And then Time Waits. Blue, a man trapped in the past, which is our present. Sent back in time for a mission he could not bring himself to complete, the former soldier builds a life with Grace, the sheriff of a small town. The pair build a foundation of happiness on a history of bloodshed, as far away from the trigger-happy corporate overlords that used Blue as a human gun. Now, after
they killed his dog.
Yeah, this might as well just be like John Wick Time Bandits. No,
I'm not complaining. I'm in on this.
Yep. Okay, interesting. Before Grace can fully convince Blue to expand their family, the future comes calling. The overlords want their first deserter, and to complete the mission, Blue could not. They have one simple rule: kill anyone who stands in their way. First of 4 miniseries by Chip Zdarsky for Distillery.
Okay.
Interesting indeed.
I mean, Chip.
Yep. All right, getting past the rest of the Distillery stuff that is mid-story. Well, I got a lot of solicitations this month. Let's bring it down to Walt Disney's Donald and Mickey in Metropolis and Faust. Faust is all over the place this month.
Yeah.
Disney's top stars dive back into wild spoofs of great literature in Walt Disney fashion on page 350. Interesting indeed.
Well, it's just Chinatown.
All right, I would read that one. I would definitely. Vengeance is for the Living, issue 3. I think I mentioned issue 1 back in the day, but that just looks awesome. Page 354. Pat O'Malley's Pop Scars looks interesting. Not just for the name, but also the premise. blood-spattered neon lights of La La Land, vengeance wears a pink ski mask. Dive into the twisted world of Pop Scars, where fame, betrayal, and bloodshed paved the way for one of the most unforgettable revenge stories to hit the streets of Hollywood. Featuring Pinky, who's fueled by a burning desire for revenge against a sleazy director who's made a career out of crushing dreams and also happens to be your father. So there's that.
There's the hook.
Mm-hmm. Pat O'Malley and Santi Gillen bring us Pop Scars on page 358 out of Godhood Comics.
Guess I'm calling my comic publisher Invincible, Indestructible. Jeez, God.
Oh, Christine Norrie's got a new book. Pearl is a graphic novel here. Beautifully crafted and captivating graphic novel from award-winning writer Sherry L. Smith and Eisner-nominated Christine Norrie. Japanese-American girl must survive years of uncertainty and questions of loyalty in Hiroshima. During World War II. 13-year-old Japanese-American girl who lives in Hawaii is Amy. And when her great-grandmother falls ill, Amy travels to visit family in Hiroshima for the first time. But this is 1941. And when the Japanese Navy attacked Pearl Harbor, it becomes impossible for Amy to return to Hawaii. Fascinating concept here.
Yeah, that looks really good.
Yep. Pearl graphic novel on page 362. Is this? Huh. Hanami. You, me, and 200 square feet in Japan. Join couple Julia and Mark as they leave the comfort of home to live in a country whose culture and art has inspired them. Japan! We call that migration. Page 364. Nice slice of life comic. I'll tell you, there are a lot of comics this month. What was that, Raph?
Slaughter Otter? Slaughter Otter?
Slaughter Otter.
Slaughter app. Okay.
Yeah, Slaughter Otter. No, you're right. Matt Fief. Slaughter Otter. Do you miss the days when comics were nothing but page after page of nonstop badass action? Well, good news. Those days return.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, if we're talking like cheesy 90s, I mean, this looks like a more fun cheesy 90s, not like, really bad cheesy 90s.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what this is from the looks of it. Yeah.
I could do with some fun.
Yeah, why not? Page 375 for that. Let's go to UFO mushroom invasion. Shirakawa Marina. Flying saucer crashes deep in the mountains of Japan. So much Japan this month. Wary of the hyper-intelligent beings they find inside, the government hides from the public all news of alien craft. But it's not the strange visitors themselves that they should be afraid of. The real danger is the parasitic spores smuggled aboard. Oh, boy.
Don't put that on your pizza.
Yeah, right?
Originally published in 1976. So, vintage.
Yeah. Very cool.
Just send Godzilla after them. They'll fight. He'll destroy Tokyo. It'll be fine.
Curated and translated by award-winning historian Ryan Holmberg. Page 380, UFO mushroom invasion. Ah, boy. Here we go. Page 382. Dan
Didlio.
Art by Jim Calafiore.
Yep, that's a plus.
Mm-hmm. Defenders of the Earth. And look at that team. Flash Gordon, the Phantom, Mandrake the Magician. Oh, we just mentioned Mandrake.
Lothar.
And Lothar. United against, again, in this reimagining of the classic animated series, Defenders of the Earth. All right. Sounds like it could be interesting, even with Dan DiGio involved.
Next page.
Page 382. Oh, and there's an action cover. There's an action figure variant.
That's not going to get me.
Yeah, I didn't think so. The Gatchaman ongoing reaches its second issue, page 384. Always happy to see that back. And Dick Tracy's hit issue 4, page 385. Ah, here we are. Page 386, a book for me.
Listen, you take the knish. You leave the gun, you take the knish.
Thank you. Kosher Mafia #1. It's by who's the actual creators? Here we go. Author David Hazan. Art by Sami Kivala. Yeah, I'm going to pronounce it the Jewish way, and I hope that I'm right. In Cleveland, Ohio, in 1936, Howard Berkowitz, the bookkeeper for the Jewish mob, finds himself on the wrong end of an enforcer's gun when he tries to spur the Kosher Mafia into action against a rising tide of domestic Nazism in the German-American Bund. Could not be more in for this. This sounds fantastic.
Okay.
Yep, sounds good to me too, and I am also in.
Yeah. Wow.
Listen, they're trying. They're gonna try to kill us. What do you mean you're not gonna intervene? What do you mean?
You know, just stop. Page 386.
I'm reaching that point.
I know. We all reach that point eventually. But I feel you.
A phone call away.
Yeah, this looks interesting too. Rich Doek and Russell Olson. Fame comes at the ultimate cost. 14 years ago, Emma and Andrew Walker suffered a devastating loss when Mandy, their 6-year-old daughter, was kidnapped. Her unrecognizable body was found 1 week later. The case and resulting media coverage moved an entire nation to the point that everyone knew who the Walkers were. Everyone felt sympathetic, which indirectly propelled the Walkers' business and careers. Years pass, and now their second child is missing. Can they find her in time? Wow. Oof. That sounds like a movie waiting to happen.
A thriller mystery?
Mm-hmm. Yep, out of Mad Cave. 10-year anniversary of Mad Cave. Good for them. Yep, page 388. I like the artwork.
How many companies from 10 years ago did we love and are no longer around?
Many. All right. Yes, and this is very much worth mentioning. Page 394. 3 episodes ago, I had the pleasure of having Jeremy Whitley on to discuss this very book. And here it is solicited on page 394, Navigating with You. 2 Hearts, One Journey. This is a romance story involving a woman who moved from Florida to a new home, and also another from Queens who moved to a new home. And they try to find themselves in North Carolina. It's a slice of life story. There's also it deals with mental health. It deals with physical incapabilities and capabilities. It's so worth your time, and I 100% endorse this book, Navigating with You. I got to read a comp copy of it, and it is fantastic. So Jeremy has a winner here, and I want all of you to check it out. It's definitely well worth your time, especially during Pride Month. So page 394, read this book, Navigating with You.
Yep, gonna bookmark that.
Yep. My favorite part about it is that they bond over a manga that they both read, and interspersed throughout, as you can see on these preview pages, they actually have pages of the manga that were drawn in to the book. So you get to read the manga as you're reading the book as it goes on. So that's super awesome.
So wait, he wrote an actual manga that he placed into the book?
Yeah, that's
That's
exactly
cool.
Yeah, so it's almost like a book inside a book.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it works really well. And then we got more Kelly and Lansing. Oh, yeah. The Principles of Necromancy. Page 396. It's Lansing and Kelly with art by Eamon Winkle. While brave knights and dangerous monsters wage endless war, business is booming for Dr. Jacob Eyes. That's a name. A traveling physician whose arcane remedies are the closest thing to magic the world knows. These gruesome miracles are only stepping stones for Dr. Eye's ultimate ungodly goal, to overcome death itself. He's going to do it. He's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think he's going to do it. This looks fantastic. And again, it's 2 of the hottest writers in comics. The Principles of Necromancy. Check it out on page 396.
Then on 397, we have the Pedestrian #1, a superhero speedwalker.
Yes.
Joey Esposito and Sean Von Gorman. And there is a great Mike Allred variant cover down there, but notice the price. It says, please inquire. It's like,
Oh, God, no,
you gotta
thank you.
ask, you can't afford it.
Oh, boy. Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is America's answer to Moomin Rider.
The Dean Haspiel variant cover is also quite nice, and that is affordable. So just do keep that in mind. But this is a concept that is just perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh man, who's the company? Magma Comics. You're doing a damn good job. Magma.
Liquid hot magma.
Indeed, and they are. They very much are. All right, moving down into Cruel Universe #1. Oni Press. An entertaining comic.
Oh, that's cute.
Kind of looks like EC to me, but just saying.
It is. I mean, it's definitely their logo. It's their apparently they've bought the rights to publish under that aegis now.
I love it. Yep. And this is a
trade dress.
Oh yeah, compelled to oblivion, driven by entropy. All life in our cosmos can only end in one place: complete annihilation. For the first time in 70 years, the limitless fury of EC Comics rages back to life to shred the very fabric of the universe itself and wrench bizarre tales of time and space into our dimensional plane. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Great to see EC back in any form, and good for Oni for rescuing it. Page 404. Ah!
Yep. And speaking of things that Oni has brought back from the abyss, we have, for the first time since the late lamented Ape Entertainment's attempt at this in the late 2000s, we've got a Sesame Street comic, a 4-issue miniseries subtitled Grover Lends a Hand, written by Joey Esposito, presumably the same gentleman who's bringing us The Pedestrian from Magma Comics, with art by Austin Beckler.
Very cool. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Back when I was a kid, I got to tour the set once. That was really awesome. Rick and Morty Youth in Rick Vault. I only mention that for the name. Page 411. Michael Morecci and Tony Gregori on the writing and artwork chores for yet another Rick and Morty series.
Then on page 412, we've got a Rick and Morty Election Day themed one-shot. Rick and Morty Finals Week Contested Convention #1, written by James Asmus and Jim Festante, art by Susie Blake. And it's kind of as a goof, Rick is putting Doofus Rick in the run against the President Curtis of the Rick and Morty universe. And third-party candidate Beth enters the race as well.
Mm-hmm. Of course, of course.
James Asmus is getting around this month.
Yeah,
yes, he is. Yep, most definitely. All right. Heading into further realms here. Battle Action #1, page 423, written by some schlubs named Garth Ennis and Brian K. Vaughan.
Yeah, who cares about them?
Artwork
And Chris Burnham.
Yeah, seriously. Blazing battle action on each page. Garth Ennis and Keith Burns reunite for a 10-issue maxi series, which tells the final story of Johnny Red, aerial ace. Johnny Redburn's battle against the German Luftwaffe continues into the final year of the Second World War. Johnny's long war has taken a toll on him, and his bravery now edges toward recklessness. Then in a guest feature, Brian K. Vaughan makes his battle action debut, joined by Chris Burnham for a shocking post-apocalyptic fable. Yeah, this is awesome. Oh, man. Good on that.
Not available in Germany.
Nope.
Can't talk about that stuff there.
Sorry. 2000 AD, everywhere but Germany. Sorry, man.
Oh, nothing happened. Everyone was on vacation.
One of my favorites. Page 423, and of course, everything comes back to 2000 AD.
Yeah, it's 32 pages for $7.99, so I hope it's like magazine-sized.
Yeah. Then on the next page, 424, Jerry Siegel's Syndicate of Crime versus the Crime Genie. Jerry Siegel and Reg Bunn as the King of Crooks returns.
Yep, the Spider, right. It's Yeah, he figured in that that miniseries Albion by Alan Moore and his daughter Leah and her lover John Reppion back in the mid-2000s. Yeah, the Spider was simply one of the characters featured there. He was a kind of a classic British comics villain and occasional hero.
Nice.
And Jerry Siegel wrote him for a little while. This is historical fact.
Well, there you go. If you're interested, check it out on 424. Scout Comics, very, very important to mention. Banshees #1, written by the one and only Dave Dwanch, Jessica Balboni on the co-writing and the artwork chores. This is a second printing of Banshees out of Scout Comics. So if you missed it the first time around, support our buddy Dave Dwanch and get Banshees #1. You will enjoy it. And onward we go to The Night Never Ends graphic novel by Steve Thusen. Horror comedy graphic novel about turning 30 and also accidentally catching the attention of a killer cult. Like you do.
It happens.
This sounds like a lot of fun. I love horror comedies, so this is going to be right up my alley. The Night Never Ends on page 431. And now we get to Tomorrow's this month. And it's a jungle out there. Alter Ego 190. Whole bunch of jungle action. We got Kazar. We got Sheena. We got Rula, Frank Buck, Jojo, Congo Kid, Lorna, Jungle Jim, Princess Panther, and more. And of course, Tarzan. All inside this alter ego. And I'm sure there's probably some apes along the way.
Oh,
Can I just say,
Yep.
The pain I have felt since November of 2022, because I started playing Marvel Snap and watching all these Marvel Snap YouTubers, and none of them, we're talking at least 6 or 7 people who speak to thousands of Marvel Snap players can say Kazar.
They all say
Kazar.
Kazar.
Always Kazar, and it's always what's the other one they screw up? Oh God, it hurt me so deeply. It hurt me so deeply.
Many quarters in the jar for that one, definitely. Yep. Hey, vey. And
I don't miss them.
Back issue this month revisits the Bronze Age House of Mystery. House of Secrets, Unexpected, Marvel's failed horror anthologies, Haunted Tank, Eerie Publications, House 2 adaptation, Elvira's House of Mystery, and more. So a whole bunch of horror out of back issue for issue 155.
Yeah, they're really trying to make Halloween in August a thing here this month.
Yeah, I know. It's very strange.
I guess the idea is if Christmas can sneak in right after Halloween, then
I guess
Halloween can slip in right before Labor Day.
There can definitely be a Halloween creep too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, and Cryptology #1 tells me that they're definitely aiming for that as well. Greetings, creep culturists. For my debut issue, I, the cryptologist, with the help of From the Tomb editor Peter Normanton, have exhumed the worst horror comics excesses of the 1950s. Killer B movies to die for.
Ooh. And the creepiest, kookiest toys that crossed your bony little fingers as a child.
Nice. Oh, man. Page 435 for that. Man. All right. I think unless we have Vault stuff, I think we're good to head to manga. Any Vault stuff catch your eye, sir?
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right. Then onward we go to manga. And let's try to find at least one or two things that look interesting. Page 452. I didn't get to tell you about Final Fight issue 1, so I will say Final Fight issue 2. It's a Final Fight, manga by Udon, by Matt Moylan and Matthew Weldon. Worth checking out. Final Fight is one of those forever relevant IPs that continues to be in the norm one way or the other. So worth checking out. Okay. Deadpool Samurai, the official coloring book. Okay. 72 pages of art for fans of the Merc with the Mouth to color, featuring illustrations by Hikaru Usugi taken from the pages of the Deadpool Samurai manga. This coloring book is packed with art featuring Marvel characters such as Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Loki, and more. Available page 459. I know. And Twisted Wonderland by Disney, also on that same page. Rose Red Tyrant, the novel. All right, let's find at least one more of note that is not something related to Disney. Yeah, that's what I was looking at there. Original story by Quantic Dream. In 2038, Tokyo, artificially intelligent robots known as androids have started production. Even smarter and more beautiful than regular people, they steadily replace humans in various roles. However, unlike America's anti-android sentiments, in Japan, the android idol Reina's wild popularity seems to herald a bright future for androids. Though amid this, android deviants begin to appear, rejecting their duty for free will and real emotions. This is the story of a revolution with one human girl at its center. Very interesting concept. Detroit Become Human, Tokyo Stories, Volume 1, page 463. And I frankly think that is about it for me. Mur, did you have any tchotchkes?
Well, Ian, one of our previews odysseys, and the first one we're doing together on Comic Timing, it wouldn't feel complete unless we had at least one.
Yes.
And I got just the one earmarked. If I can find the page, it's in the swag section, page M44.
Okay, 1 second here. Let me find it. There we are. M44.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, that's pretty cool too.
Oh yes, actually,
Godzilla stuff.
Yeah, M40 has a whole bunch of Godzilla movie monster figures, which is pretty cool. But yes, here we are at page 44.
Yeah, and right there at the top, we got Goonies.
Yes.
It's a set of 5 different 4-inch tall, 5-point of articulation Goonies action figures.
I love the likenesses, even though they look pretty good from what I can see.
Yep, the characters are Mikey, Chunk, Data, Mouth, and Sloth in his Superman t-shirt and pirate hat.
Nice. Very nice. I've been on an 80s movie kick lately. You'll be surprised to know I had never seen The Breakfast Club until this week.
Doesn't surprise me, and I've never seen it at all.
Yep. Breakfast
I saw it in college.
Breakfast Club, and I watched St. Elmo's Fire for the first time a couple days ago as well. And Pretty in Pink I saw and did not like at all, but the other two I enjoyed.
Yes, I can remember being desperately bored by St. Elmo's Fire several times as a kid during the infrequent HBO free trials we'd get. I'd sit through it waiting for Gremlins to come on afterwards.
Oh, man. I've had the damn song stuck in my head all freaking week since I watched it, though.
Oh, Man in Motion?
Yeah. St. Elmo's Fire! Oh, man.
I feel St. Elmo's Fire burning in me. Burning in me.
Oh, my God. Well...
Shot our boat. We have shot our boat now.
Yes, we have, and what a epic way to get things started here is like we went just about like 3 hours plus for this first iteration of previews here. So those of you who wanted the longer previews, you got it. So you better damn well enjoy it and let us know that you enjoyed it. And Murd, it was an absolute pleasure having you join us on this journey.
Ian, thank you very much for having me along. I hope that there'll be many happy returns.
Most definitely, and we'll hopefully be doing this once a month, just like always. So stay tuned. And Raph, you're welcome for having you spend more money.
I haven't felt this way. God, it's been. Let me just say this. It's been a very long time since I've had the pleasure to really go through the previews catalog.
Yes.
And just go and just really see all these wonderful people creating all these wonderful comics.
Yes.
And going, I want that.
Yeah.
It's been a very long time, I gotta say.
Well,
And,
you're welcome.
you know, when I rob a bank or win the lotto or some inconceivable way of making a lot of money, I purchase all these books.
Yep.
In the meantime, I'm going to try to whittle it all down and
Yes.
cry silently.
There you go.
As I do.
So it goes. So it goes.
And I'll do it again next month.
Yes, indeed. And we will indeed do it again next month. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube for this one, enjoy reading along with us. And a special shout out in particular to Lynn Workman, who I know very much look forward to these screen share adventures that we do. And this one's out to you, my friend. And I hope you enjoy playing this in the shop. So
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
We're getting there, Chief. We're getting there. Raph, you want to pimp your socials while we're at it?
Yeah, I've simplified everything because I'm a savvy marketing genius. Everything is at Raph Does Stuff. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, whatever's out there. I don't know. I've given up.
Sing song, bingo boingo,
MySpace. Yeah, I think I found my MySpace and I reactivated it. So
yeah, there you go.
Find me there. I don't know. I don't even remember to log in anymore. So good luck getting in contact with me there. But I have one.
Well, fair enough. All right, let's get this thing over with here. The email address for Comic Timing is comictiming@gmail.com. Facebook.com/Comic Timing for our Facebook location. We're on Twitter at Comic Timing Pod. We're also on Blue Sky at Comic Timing Podcast. Instagram, Comic Timing Podcast. YouTube, Comic Timing Podcast. What a coincidence. So do find us in those locations. And of course, patreon.com/Comic Timing if you would like to throw a bone our way. I'd like to thank everybody for listening to this trial run here of previews, old school. And to Raph and to Murd, thank you once again. And as always, there's always time for comics. It's over.